Hey, guys, huge thanks out there to Geiger Brothers Construction, professional engineering and commercial construction. Hey, give these guys a call, 740-286-0800. Hey, you'll be glad you did.
Big thanks to AP Prep. Hey, if you want to earn the day, get your ass over to AP Prep. You can find them on the internet at apprep.info. Earn the day. This episode is brought to you by your locally owned and operated McDonald's restaurants. They have been proudly serving Jackson and the surrounding area for over 40 years. Thank you to all of the communities that have supported us throughout the years. We truly appreciate your business. Get in there and try one of those apple fritters, man, and the other baked goods. The mun's got it going on. This episode is also brought to you by Gillum Insurance, specializing in life, farm, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Give them a call at 740-395-0357 for a quote today. If you want to get treated right, save a little money, and make sure your stuff is covered properly, Gillum Insurance is Chubby Bartender endorsed.
Check one, check two. We good, Tyler? Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the man, the myth, the legend. How many times have you been called that in your life? The baddest guitar picker on the planet.
Yes.
The greatest of this generation in the last 3 or 4 eras, Mr. Bart Wiseman.
Well, thank you. That's humbling. None of that's true.
Yes.
Well, hey, when it comes to music, man, around here, this guy's the best show in town.
And he's a pretty good individual too.
Well, we really like him.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I love doing it more than anything else, so I hope that shows.
Well, it always does.
I hope so.
Yeah, and always has. And I'm sure that you get better with time, right?
You learn more with time. I don't know if you get better. I learn more.
Like, do you think like when you're young and fresh, like you've got more, or does the show evolve a little bit, or what?
You think you have more because you're young and fresh. When you get old and curmudgeon-y, you learn that you knew nothing then, and you still know nothing.
but you've got the perspective of an adult.
Yeah, well, no, I would say I don't have that. I would say I hope that
I'm fighting against that. Yeah.
I hope I never lose that, the perspective of the kid.
Right.
Just ask my ex-wife; they'll tell you.
Yeah. Boy, you know what though? I never really want to use that as somebody's. I don't think that I would use for my letter of reference ex-wives. That's not.
You'd be surprised how many people do use that as a reference for me.
Well, you never know, man. Maybe they've experienced some regret, and they thought, man, that Bart was a good guy.
Well, maybe not, but we can dream about that. We can dream of that for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Mr. Jarvis here for the Middle West Spirits Straight Bourbon brewed in Columbus, Ohio.
Yes.
So obviously they've shipped the Kentucky limestone up to Columbus, Ohio, and made this in a local distillery. So, hey, Brian Jarvis, thank you, sir. We'll enjoy and give it a full review.
Yes. Hey.
Cheers,
Here's
man.
to Brian Jarvis.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Here's
man.
Bart Wiseman.
Also a talented man.
It's his boy.
Well,
Brian Jarvis Jr.
Okay. Well, I don't know him.
Yeah, but
here's to him anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And Brian Jarvis. That's right. He plays. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, he's been playing. He's been playing a long time. He's had a band.
When I was coming up, he was established.
Yes.
Established.
Yeah.
Bart, when did you start?
I was probably around 14. Of course, like a lot of folks do, started learning about music in church.
Yeah.
In our church, we had all the instruments there: organ, piano, bass, drums. Everything was there. My dad played guitar.
Yeah.
And that's where I started to learn about it. I played drums at first as my first instrument.
Okay.
Tell the story about the Christmas with the key. Didn't you get a drum key?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they packaged up a little drum key and just a little jewelry box, and they took me downstairs, and my dad was there, and my stepfather, and a lot of people in my immediate family were there.
Yeah.
to give him my first drum set. And yeah, what an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Look what they've done.
Oh, yeah.
You see the fruit of their labors.
You know what? How common is that, though? We've talked to a lot of musicians on the show, and so many of them, their first exposure was in church.
Yeah.
The reason I think that is there's no judgment of you when you're learning in that place.
The criticism is not nearly as high.
People just they hold you up. They build you up.
They encourage you.
They encourage you to do it, which is what you need as a young musician, because there are a lot of people that would say, there's no future in that. There's not there. They always held you up, lifted me up, very much so.
Did you play a lot in church?
I still will occasionally.
I knew, but I'm saying when you was 14.
Yeah, I was there every Wednesday, twice Sundays, every meeting I could get to, because that was there. The drum set was there.
Yeah.
And they had the good cymbals that I really couldn't afford yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They sounded great.
Yeah.
They were Robbie Irvin's drums.
Okay.
And they were that was the church that he grew up in.
The guy that has
the one that has the church on.
Yeah, World Outreach.
World Outreach.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yep.
They were his drums, and by de facto, he kind of taught me to play.
Okay.
By watching him, he actually sat me down once and showed me, here's the 2, here's 4.
Yeah.
Here's how you get around that. Don't worry about the rolls and the fills. That'll all come. Just play straight and basic. And he's a real technique drummer. He's very precise, very meticulous when he plays. He's amazing to see him play, because you don't know him for that. You don't
now, do you ever sit down at the drums anymore?
Yeah.
Is it still kind of a love or?
It's such a release for anger, frustration,
and a break. Nice break for you.
There's nothing more freeing than beating the crap out of these drums, man.
The Jeremy Rupert ought to be the most liberated band.
He's pretty happy.
He's pretty happy.
He's always got a smile on his face, don't you, J-Rock?
Yeah.
Man, that's good.
I haven't tried mine yet. I'm letting mine dilute a little bit.
No, so you started with the drums.
Yep.
When did you pick up your first guitar, man?
I was 14 when I started the drums, and they almost come together. My dad played music in front of the band the same as I do. It's called the Bandits.
Okay.
And their band logo.
Just Van.
Just band.
Van
Wiseman, my father.
Yep.
And their logo was the back of the truck from the Smoking the Bandit movies, the hold-up scene, the old cowboy hold-up scene.
Oh, nice.
That was on their T-shirts, and it said the Bandits and Rope. Because I'd still got one of the T-shirts when I was like 5 years old. I have it framed.
Awesome,
dude.
I
think I've seen that frame.
It's really neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played guitar. He played rhythm guitar, and he sang in the band. But he quit that when I came around.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I'm not sure. I'm saying probably just to make ends meet. He didn't
Sure.
have time to fool around with all this foolishness that I fooled. And back then he was making the same thing that I make now.
Yeah.
In the early 70s, making the same amount of money that bands make right now.
That really hasn't changed that much.
We've talked about that for years.
Yes.
It
hasn't changed. So
in the 70s, they were getting the same amount of pay the musicians were. In all fairness, there was a lot more drinkers probably out back then too.
Well, what do you attribute that to, guys? Why? Obviously, the owners of the establishments placed a higher value on live entertainment at that time.
There's no union, there's no camaraderie.
Right.
You want to crap on the other band. It was those guys.
Yeah.
That's our. We should be there.
You're kind of fighting for that same slot.
I think a lot of people, even still, I find that to be. I try not to ever let myself do that. Not in public anyway. You keep that to yourself. If you think that, that's fine, but you don't have to tear someone else down to make yourself feel good.
Yeah.
So I think it's because there's no union, there's no camaraderie in it. Maybe there is a little more now because I know a lot of local musicians and we all lift one another up. We don't try to tear one another down.
Yeah.
I think economics are a big reason for it. I'll think about that more. That's a very good question.
Well, I think that hell, we've talked about it on this show a lot. Like maybe the bar industry at that time was thriving too. I think
it was definitely
it was different,
more
probably.
saturated. And and probably
More bars, more bands.
more bars, more bands. It was probably a little freer. Just the style was different. I think people they were used to live bands.
Yeah.
No one dances to rock and roll anymore.
No,
that's for sure.
The '80s is kind of whenever the DJs hit, wouldn't you say?
I would say that's a pretty good. Yeah, DJs, discotheque era.
That just changed it. I'm not saying it was bad.
It did change the music industry
It did.
for sure. Like also the change in the music industry, that karaoke did not help things.
No.
When it first came.
Yeah.
And that's starting to go away now. And there's good parts and bad parts about that too. Same as there are about real live music. But that changed it also. But now we've come across the biggest change in the music industry that has ever happened.
Oh my!
Except for 1918. But even then, there were no electric instruments.
Right.
No public address systems. If you heard a band, it was the acoustic sound coming from that instrument.
Right.
And to be louder, you have more band.
Yeah. More men. Yeah.
Yeah, like whenever they used to play theaters back then, there would have been no
10,000 people.
Well, no 10,000 watts.
Yes. Get over.
Yeah.
If there was microphone, it was rudimentary at best.
Yeah.
You have to learn to catch that person in the back of the room. And I could do that now, but it would peak all the levels.
Yeah.
You have to get someone in the very back of the room.
Well,
I still do that.
Don't you think that like buildings and theaters at that time though were designed
I
with that in mind?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Pole barns do not carry.
No, they don't do that. No.
Yeah.
And I think people are finding that out.
Yeah.
They're hanging things.
Yeah.
Try to soak up. Even you have put up
Yeah.
sound stuff in that back room of your place.
Yeah. And that's that's a struggle.
Yeah.
Like and like these old buildings, like you really don't need mic'd.
Well, like, in a building like this, we've talked about it. You said
Yeah.
this would be a cool building to sit down with an
Not a
acoustic
band.
guitar. No, an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And sing.
Yeah.
And it would sound beautiful in here.
It would.
Now, if you filled that floor up with 500 people and then put a band in front of it, this room is perfect.
Perfect.
Is that right?
Okay. Yeah.
But if it's empty,
Yeah.
the band's playing,
Too
just
much jack up.
cacophony.
Yeah.
It's all bounce. But
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
a great sounding room. That's the first thing I notice when I walk into a room.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the sound of that room. And this is a very live, nice sound.
Yeah.
It would be nice for like a individual, you're saying. It'd be too much sound if you had a band.
Unless you have 500 people
Yeah.
Okay.
to listen to that band.
But like if a one guy and a guitar,
Oh, it's
this
perfect.
place would be beautiful on
It'd
there.
be a great recording place to set with just a recorder, one mic. Just let the room do its work. Yeah.
Oh man, cool.
Well, there's one just down the street, studio down the street, which should be the same building probably.
Is there a studio down the street?
Up above
Oh, above?
Hummingbird.
Yeah, there is,
I'm
yeah.
sure that's still there. I
Yeah.
think it is.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even know there was a studio.
There's been a lot of good music cut upstairs in Hummingbird.
Is that right? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, there was.
Absolutely. Albums put together. Up
Yeah,
there.
there's been some good albums. put
Charlie
together.
Lilly and the Poor Boys kind of put one together up there.
Charlie Wonder. Is that who?
No, that's Charlie Lilly.
Charlie
That's the guy
Lilly.
I'm talking about. He
I don't
was a
remember him.
tugboat captain, I think. I may be wrong. Walt's all over that album. So is Larry.
Okay.
He produced it there. He did a lot of the parts on a keyboard. Larry did things
Larry
that you
could-
would go back and you think, oh, that's a good guitar part or violin. He did that a lot of that, man, all by himself.
Hey,
So Bart,
he's next level, isn't he?
like,
Yeah, he's
next
like
level.
I know Pudge. Like you guys have kind of been a part of the local music scene.
He is a local.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is, yeah, and like what I think is interesting is it seems like in talking with you and I'm curious, Bart, if you've had the same thing. Like, does it make you interested in the kind of the history of local bands and artists, like that maybe came back, before you? Obviously, you spoke about your father that played in the 70s. Like, do you find that you found a familiarity with the local music history and tradition here, or?
That is a strange one because you're hard pressed to go back 100 years ago and think of a popular artist that you even know about 100 years ago.
Right.
There are the famous ones that you do hear about. Bobby Bear, ETC.
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas, yeah,
Earl Thomas is from
out of
Close.
Portsmouth. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey man, in the bluegrass world, them Daugherty boys is about as high up as, I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
and Dave Corral.
Absolutely.
Those guys are all.
But you don't tend to hear about the mid-level guys
Really?
as much as.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear, my dad used to do this, and he'll tell me the story, and I'll be like, I've never heard of that band.
Yeah.
Never heard of that band.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is it's really not passed down.
I haven't seen it. Now, I'm not saying that it's not.
Yeah.
Now, I look for it. If I see it, I do notice it, and I'll try to at least put that somewhere that someone could find it one day if they want to. I don't see that a lot. No.
Okay.
I don't see it passed down.
Yeah, I just wondered. I mean, you know,
It's a good question.
I mean, I would figure that you're as tapped into local music, and the fact that, like, I would go as far as to say I believe Bart's probably the face of it
Oh, absolutely.
here. I mean,
You boys are
not
being
probably.
entirely too kind. Entirely.
No, we're not trying to embarrass you. I mean, I was just coming from a place like I would figure if anybody knew, you know, that sort of
Well, you've
that
played
could walk
with,
us back. Yeah.
You know, Bart's played with.
Oh.
You know, he's played back. You know, the guys that were hot, like at the what I would call the end of the first live music
Yes.
era.
I got to start early.
You got to start with them, like the Tommy Madisons and what's the guy? Shoot, sorry, Bart, I forget this guy's name. God, you talk about him all the time.
Oh, the guy that wrote the songs that I
Yeah,
rip off of.
yeah.
Mike Pratt.
Mike Pratt, yes,
Mike Pratt,
yes,
my musical grandfather.
yes.
Absolutely. He was a great songwriter, man.
And see, like that. See, I missed those guys. Like by the time I started listening to live music around here, or playing it, or whatever.
I think that's because I started so young. I
So
was
that would have been
16.
what?
Yeah, walk
What
us
year
back.
would
So,
have
like,
that
when you
been,
transitioned,
89?
yeah.
90? No. 80.
Yeah, probably around 89, 90, because in 90, I started high school.
You're what, 45, 46?
I've been 36 for 7 years. Yeah, right around then, I think. Right around then.
So you're out honky-tonking.
Oh, I'm a honky-tonk nighttime man.
At 16 years old,
16.
then you made the jump from.
And
from
back then there was
church.
honky-tonks. You know, back then honky-tonks was real.
And I went to church too. And I was still learning there too.
But you started to play with a band and get out there doing some live
you
performances.
went on the road with Bob Irvin, didn't you? Didn't you guys have like a...
Oh, not Bob Irvin. Robbie.
Robbie Irvin, yeah.
Robbie and
Abraham
Troy.
Lincoln?
Right. It was that was a great band. It was the Irvin family band. Robbie, Troy, Kara, and me. That's it. Yeah. We traveled a lot, man. Yeah. That was.
I remember there was a bus story in there that you told. I can't remember what the bus story was.
We never had a bus or anything.
No,
like
but
that.
there was a story about that.
There was
that, like,
always we'd meet a famous gospel band.
Yeah, you were going to get a bus, and then there was
that was different. That was the secular band that I was on, that I actually did do real road time.
And you
with.
said you said it was laying down in Florida. Somewhere.
Yeah, they said, "Where's your guys' band?" It's in Indiana. It's right where we left it 5 years ago.
That's the story.
These guys I was playing with, they wanted to have a bus so bad. They couldn't be a big deal without a bus.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to help sign my name. And I said, well, then you're crazy. I don't want any part of this. You guys go ahead and
we
take
don't need a
loan
bus.
out.
Yeah.
We had a 1970 Dodge motorhome. And it was baby blue. We called it the Blue Goose. And it seated 7. So that's exactly. And we had a dog.
Perfect.
We had the bass player's wife with us. And she was like a mother to us.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I'm drinking coffee too. Yeah, it's a good pairing with scotch. And
I'm sure it is.
So they had to buy this bus, and it was so much money. GMC, there were 20 seats in the front, 6 bunks in the back.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Getting 4 miles a gallon.
4 miles, 4 miles to the gallon, and the tire was like $1,000. And there were a lot of tires on this thing.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of wheels on it.
Yeah.
So it stopped. It broke down. And they said, it's transmission. I said, well, what's it cost? It $32,000 for a new transmission.
Yeah.
So it sat right there for 5
Yeah, there it
years.
was. Yeah.
Right on the
Now,
highway.
now, did you enjoy the days where the bus was running? Like, were you like, hey, man, this is what it's all about?
Got to ride in it one time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So really didn't get full appreciation
That
of
was
it
the
then.
first trip.
Okay.
Broke down the first trip. Yeah.
Man, you just hear horror stories about those buses.
It's terrible.
Even Shenandoah broke down whenever they left here last year.
Oh,
How
I'm
they,
sure.
they broke down on Harding and had to have a new bus brought in.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope.
That happens to everybody then.
Yeah.
You imagine the deal you have to make
Yeah.
to get a bus brought to you right now?
Well, I think they lease them now if
They do.
if you're those guys from Prevost
Sure, if
or
you
whatever.
can
yeah.
pay that.
Yeah.
How much a month?
I don't know.
50 grand a month, I bet, to lease one of those?
No.
Oh,
I'd say probably 10, 15.
it's still a lot of money.
I bet it might have been 50 grand to get one up here on the double. You know?
I doubt that much.
Well, but I mean, if you're Shenandoah, like
Yeah, if
you're
you're
just
Shenandoah.
like,
Look
well,
up,
yeah,
look up
yeah.
how much it is to rent a Prevost bus.
I mean, you
Good
know.
question.
Well, but
Jamie,
you're not
young
talking
Jamie,
about
young
one.
Tyler back
Yeah,
there.
You're not
Young
talking,
Ty-
yeah,
Young
and you're
Tyler.
not talking about like just a regular motor coach. I mean, we're talking one that's decked out,
Yeah.
like that Mike
Yeah.
Skinner version that
Yeah.
he and Angie take all over the.
That's
Step smaller.
that's a
Yeah.
motorhome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a full-size
This is
bus.
a bus.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a city bus with
Oh, yeah,
amenities
yeah,
inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you played in the drums and you kind of came up through all those guys and so you're honky-tonking then at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So like tell me about like where would that have been?
Oh, we played Crazy Katie's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We played the VI in Zaleski.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of the floor was dirt.
yeah.
Part of it wasn't. It was an old coal stove. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, it's beauty.
different in it than it is
They used to
now. And,
rock
it's,
it,
and it
don't
looks old now. You know,
Oh,
the renovations look old now. But that was fun. We played the Eagles.
Yeah, so you're just any place local that'll have you that had
Club
live
Vinton.
music, you're doing it all.
Now, I played Club Vinton when I was younger then, but I haven't played it in a while. Shout out to Mr. Ramey. I'd love to play in there, and I've been trying to find you. So maybe he'll hear this, probably not. But yeah, I'd love to play out there again because it's real close to the house now. I'm living in Hamden now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
living in my dad's old place.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. My street, you always know it's my house. I got a pirate flag hanging out front.
Is it back your old house? Is that
No,
where
it's
you're
my
at?
dad's place. My dad's place.
I don't know where that was.
In Hamden. You probably never had
I was-
the occasion to visit Dad's.
No.
Just mom's there in town where behind the church.
Well, I went to your house in Hamden whenever you lived there on 160.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a different place. It's different. That was the house that he bought at one time. So yeah, we played local. We never got too far out of local back then.
Well, you didn't need to.
No, there were enough places to go, enough places to play.
Well,
The brass. There was a brass
Brass
menagerie.
Menagerie.
Oh,
which
yeah,
used-
yeah,
Which used to be
Harvey's. No.
Harvey's, and well, it's not.
No.
That's different. But
Jasper's.
Jasper's on second. That was later. That was a real nice place to work. I worked all four of those buildings. I'd work in the morning for making lunch for cocktails at the Porterhouse. Then I would bartend at Harvey's in the afternoon for the old men. Then at night I would go to work in the Brass Menagerie and 10 bar behind there, and I'd work all day and all night. Worked all
You know,
three
I
of
bet
those
that was
bars.
somewhat enjoyable, though.
Yeah,
Like
it
that,
was.
that afternoon with the old men there.
I was 21
You
years
learn
old.
a lot of that. You learn a lot listening to those guys talk. I
You
mean,
learn so much listening to those old men talk.
oh, I know, I know.
And all my life, most of my friends have been older than me, and I'm
Yeah,
not sure
yeah.
why that is, but I'm glad for that because I've kind of listened to those old guys or tried to. I mean, I still do a lot of stupid shit.
So you're
We all
going.
do.
So you're gigging around there, and then when did? So obviously, I know you were in a lot of those bands. We talked about you going on the road, but when did the Chasers? When did Bart and the Chasers start? Tell me about that because I would put you guys. You know, there's you guys. There's Bad Influence, Red Brush,
Nasty Habit.
Nasty Habit, and can you think of any more? I'm not. That have
We're gonna piss somebody off.
Well, Tallahassee Freight to an extent.
Tallahassee Freight to an extent, but they're professionals.
Yes, yeah, they are.
They were
Yep.
professionals.
Yep.
That's a private joke. Me and Roger.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You guys are one of the bands that have outstood the test of time. How many bands start up? Jesus, I've been in 2 or 3 with you.
Right. I've been fired from 2 or 3 year bands, much.
Oh.
Every
If you're going
hire.
to get fired by the best.
Yeah.
And old Hank Song, he fired my ass, and he fired Jerry Rivers, and he fired some people that he didn't even know.
Yeah.
Never fired them. Never find it bad.
So I think that was, I had just come off the road with my band. I know the Post Office Cafe was still open.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had just come off the road with that road band, and we were playing 6 nights a week, doing 5 sets a night.
And what were you guys playing?
Country music.
Okay.
Country music. Line dance. Country music. Line dancing was huge then.
Yeah.
We played this place in Norfolk, Virginia called The Bank, spelled with a Q. Banque.
Okay.
The dance floor was the size of an airplane hangar. And that was just the dance floor.
Wow.
And at every post, there'd be posts to hold the building up because
Yeah.
it's such an expanse.
Yeah.
There'd be some salt, like you'd throw, I think it's floor wax, chips of floor wax that they would throw on the floor.
Make your feet slide.
Make your feet slide.
yeah.
Maybe it was sand. I'm not sure how that works, but something dancers
Baby
do.
powder.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Sawdust.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of it in there. I'm sure in the day it was sawdust.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played on the road for, I bet we did that 2 years. We
Yeah.
did that 2 years. I made $250 a week.
Okay.
5 nights a week, 5 shows a night,
Yeah.
5 sets a night.
You fronting?
No, just playing drums at this point.
Just playing drums.
I wasn't good enough on guitar then. I didn't know
Singing
enough.
harmonies?
Yes, singing harmonies.
Singing
And
harmonies.
singing a few leads, doing the melody on a few songs.
But now
From
was
behind
that
the drums.
was that valuable experience?
Oh, so good, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds
doing that. I mean, that you're playing that much, you can't help but get better, right?
You're going to be better.
Yeah.
Because you know how to sing. You can, there's a difference. Like, there's guys like me that I'll just get up there and pretend that I'm singing, but you truly know how to sing.
Well, it's not something that I was born with, though. Someone had to
Sure,
teach
you
me
know
to
a
do
lot
that.
more music than I do.
Because I've studied it. I've made this my entire life. I breathe it. I eat it. I drink it every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in my, in my house, in my living room, there aren't places to sit down because there are instruments in those places.
Yeah. You've tried to set it down at times, and it just ain't gonna work, is it?
Just maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
At a time.
Yeah.
I'll try to take a break
You-
so my
yeah.
fingers don't get too sore.
You'll get burned out every now and then,
But yeah, when I came back off the road with that band after doing that time, it's so invaluable, Chad. So invaluable.
Yeah.
We would one of the greatest things to do was we would find a housing complex with a laundry room. You know how it is,
Oh, yeah.
like at all these housing complexes around.
Sure. Yeah.
We would find those in the town we were in and go party all night there
Okay.
because no one would bother us. Just single mothers
Yeah.
coming in to do their laundry. We're not bothering them, and they enjoyed the tunes, and we'd just take a bottle
Yeah.
and 2 guitars and sit on the floor in those places.
That's
We did that in
unbelievable.
so many little towns.
Oh my goodness.
You wouldn't believe it.
Sitting in the laundry room.
On the floor of a laundry room in some town that we've never been to, drinking a bottle of Jack and
Yeah.
playing music all night long.
Wow.
Get back on the bus in the morning and go to a new town.
That's awesome. I mean, well, and so really, you were just living music at that time. Mm-hmm. So what you're bringing in, I mean,
It was $250 a week. That's no money, and it wasn't money then.
well, you weren't doing it for the money. I would
But,
think.
well, no, absolutely not. They did it for the money. They had to pay for that bus. My gosh. Can you imagine? 32 grand.
Took 4 people just to pay for a tire.
Yeah. And you couldn't change the tire by yourself.
No, you had
have
to call
hire
that
someone
in.
to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Like, it
There's
was
not. You
impossible.
can't carry a jack that big.
Impossible. So, yeah, that time was so great and doing it so much. So when I came off the road from that band, I started a band with Jim Ewing from Colton. I kind of joined their band. They had Pete Ewing, who was a monster musician. No one knows his name anymore, but I'll say shout out to Pete Ewing. He was a mailman in Wellston, but he played music, and he was really good. And it was him and Randy Royster, who played bass for me. You know Randy.
Yep.
And Kenny Ewing played drums, and we kind of stole Kenny from Lone Wolf. Now, he had a band even after that, Jim did, and I even sat in with his band a few times when their guitar player couldn't come or something happened. But we started in their garage, and me and Randy just figured, and Pete, we figured, well, we're a little bit younger, and we like the same kind of music that we all got, we had that in common, so we left and started our own band. And it was called Stokermatic which I still think is a great band
I was
name.
going to say, man, that's beautiful. That would look great on a T-shirt.
Right?
Yeah.
So dramatic.
I love it.
If you ever shovel coal into one, you know exactly what that is and how we kept warm in the old days.
Yeah.
And then the other band we had out of that was North 93.
Well, I like that, too.
Which a lot of people,
I was in a big
a lot of people are doing that now. They sold Southbound,
23
Southbound, and you sold it for a while with.
I was on right on 78. No, I didn't have.
Yeah,
a band.
right on 78.
That wasn't. I joined that band.
Oh, I thought that was your band.
No, I joined that band. That was Tommy Parsons and Mikey Thompson in Athens.
Very good.
That was the first band I was ever in.
Shout out to Mike Thompson.
Yes.
Shout out Mike Thompson.
Shout out Mike.
My God, you can sing like a bird. Please
Yeah, absolutely
come back,
can.
do it again.
So you have that band, okay? How long? So now you're what, 18, 19, 20?
No, I'm a little older than that, I think. 22, 21, 22.
Are we talking like
23.
90s here, Bart?
94 probably.
I
95.
confuse my days terribly because I discount that all after I don't want to know.
You're not concerned.
Not
Yeah,
concerned
that's not
with
something you focus
whatsoever.
on. Yeah.
A lot of people do, though.
Yeah.
So then I started my own band, which is the Chasers, Bart and the Chasers. And we've been together until COVID,
Yeah.
18 years.
Yeah, that's amazing.
18
And I don't
years.
feel like that band's not done. I know you told me you think it might be.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Let's all hope and pray.
Yeah. I do hope and pray.
Let's hope and pray
Yeah.
because I really miss those guys
Those are your boys.
very much. Just the three of us.
Yep. Donnie Mays and John Conn.
Just the three of us.
How's Donnie? I
He's
haven't
doing
seen-
real well.
I
man.
seen him.
Him
on
and his
Facebook.
whole family caught the COVID.
Did they?
Yeah, they all caught it, man. His mom, his daughter, his son-in-law, they all got it.
They doing okay?
They're doing fine.
Okay.
Doing just fine. They've all kicked it pretty well. I think his mom still can't taste or smell very well, which is such a strange symptom. That's a new one on me. I don't know of any other disease that does that to you.
Yeah, it's
It's a strange thing.
It's hard to tell. I was thinking about this today while I was hunting. You
got a lot of time to think.
I had a lot of time to think out there today, and I was thinking, hey, what can I talk to Bart about? And what all could I talk? What can I narrow this down with? I would say I can't speak on anybody else's behalf, I guess, but I would assume that you have had a hand in about 95% of the musicians in Jackson County that are gigging or have gigged. There's lots of guys in the living room or basements that maybe not. But if you've went out
There are
and played,
lots of guys in their basement like that.
Yeah. If you've went out and played, you've had a hand in 95 to 99% of those guys.
I probably played with them at some point.
Yeah.
Or encouraged them if not.
Yeah.
Dwight Dougherty, you mentioned him earlier in the Red Rush Band. He's the example that I give of this. Every time that I saw that man, I don't care what kind of shape he was in or wasn't in, he always encouraged me and lifted me up every single time I saw him. He would ask me, how am I doing? I heard you're playing. He would say, I heard you're playing the other day, and you're very good. You're very good. Don't stop. He said, you keep doing that no matter what anyone says, no matter what they all say, you keep doing that. He said, you're doing a very good job. And that meant the world to me.
I was going to say that had to stick.
This man telling me that I'm doing a good job. Why would he even consider my existence other than music? We have this common bond. Everyone would want to do this if they could. Everyone would love to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So what I say is I encourage anyone that wants to do it, do it. It's not impossible to learn even older, even as you get older.
Do you find yourself when you see like younger musicians or younger bands getting together around here, when you see them, do you like kind of give them a slap on the back?
Always.
Be like, hey, look, dude.
Well, first
well done, even if you don't think it's well done. Or like,
absolutely. Absolutely. Even if you don't think it's well done.
He let me chub around him for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, man.
So like what? Like, are you will go to the risk of lying to them, tell them they're good?
Well, first thing is, you're not going to see that.
Okay.
Because kids don't pick up the guitar and think it's cool anymore. For some reason. There's a lot of that going away.
Really?
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking, too, yes.
The
When,
way music is made now.
Yeah. That now, lots of kids making music.
lots of kids making music, but it doesn't have anything to do with
Instruments.
stringed instruments.
Digital, like
it's all digital.
A lot of kids are playing with tracks.
I can go and I can build an entire track on my keyboard at home and do that if I wish to, because it's there and it's available now. And it gets cheaper every day, same as this stuff, the equipment that you guys use. Yeah. It gets smaller, lighter, and cheaper every day, just like astronauts' things. I not only would I encourage a band that does that, first, find me one, and I will go encourage them.
Because even if they're bad, you think they have the ability with practice to get better.
I was no good when I first started. But I wanted to do it so much that I was willing to put the time in to say, hey, at least I can get better. Not only will I do that, if you send me a name and a phone number, I will do that. If you let anyone out there, if you let me know, I will encourage whoever.
Yeah, because that made a difference to you.
Made such a big difference to me.
When people would tell you, hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. Because you know what? I bet to a certain extent you are kind of fighting City Hall there, right? Like, you know, whether it be your parents, your teachers, your just other people you see like, oh, man, I mean, you going to keep with that, dude?
Yeah.
I mean.
Why aren't you learning to
like, are you going to stay with, yeah. Like, are you going to stay with that, man?
Yeah.
Like, it probably feels good to see somebody, you know, say, hey, man, I get what you're doing.
It's amazing.
And it's freaking cool.
And let me tell you, not only was it good then, but people will tell me now. And it makes a world of difference in me doing it at all. Because like you said, we don't do it for the money. People will come and say, hey, you helped me get through this hard time, or hearing you singing has done this for me, or made me feel a certain way. Every time I hear that, it's still so good. And it makes me want to do it even more.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the only thing that keeps me going sometimes. Whenever I don't want to do it, I'll say, well, these people are looking forward to it. You may not want to do it. You may not want to go to work that day or to go do that. But those people are looking forward to it. I told them I would be there. I will be there if I can, if at all humanly possible. And every time I hear that, it is still so important to me. Hearing that is a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
We all like being recognized.
Well, and I mean, you know, so and we need to go back to, you know, the progression of Bart and the Chasers. But I am curious, like we've got to talk a little bit about 2020. When essentially, you know, live music in public,
it's gone.
Stopped.
It's gone. Still gone.
But I have noticed that I think you have successfully done some live shows via, you know, Skype, the internet,
that
whatever.
That depends on your version of success. How are you gauging success is the question.
Well, that's true. I mean, it allows you to do your art.
It's like singing into a funnel. Almost.
Okay. Yeah. So is it hard without the interaction directly? I mean, because like, dude, I watched one of your shows, and I mean, like, I was trying to like type in there and stuff, you know, send in a Venmo, stuff like that. But but like, it's got to be different.
It's completely different. I imagine it as a comedian. If I were a comedian doing that, you can't do that.
Music would probably be easier than being a comedian, right?
Because
you know,
I can sing and perform without an audience, and that works. I think.
But does it kind of feel like practice?
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. It feels like I'm just doing this because I have to do it. Said here, do this at a certain time, do this.
You're just checking a box.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, and it almost feels like when I'm doing the online things that they are kind of busking. It kind of feels like busking to me, like sitting on the street corner, putting my hat out. That's what it feels like to me. Because I'm used to going to a place and saying, hey, I'll do this for this amount of money. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Entertain the people. Night's over. It's different. It's complete. Now, not that I don't appreciate everyone that has helped me, and believe me, thank you, folks, because there are a lot of people that have supported me.
Goes without saying.
Sent me the tips. It has come, and I thank them so much. But it's not a good experience for me doing it. But if that doesn't come across, good, because I'm trying to not let that come across.
Yeah,
I'm
you would
trying
rather
to-
be there in person.
I would much rather sing to you in person than sing to you.
Well, but I think too, though, man. You know, and you understand this. There's a lot of people that actually really enjoy that. Like whenever you do that, like so. I mean, you
a
should.
lot of people that wouldn't be able to
Yes,
enjoy it otherwise.
Yes, I mean, and especially in 2020, you know. But I mean, there's people that they might not be able to catch you. You know, I mean, it is everybody's busy. You know, I mean, you've seen that with people, and but there are people that do really enjoy it whenever you get on there and play. So I mean, if I would, I'd feel good about that at least.
That I do feel good about that
Yeah.
part.
Well, I mean, like here's what I've said.
That part of it is great.
Yeah.
And I've said this all about.
So you're still entertaining, I guess.
Well, and all about 2020.
Thanks.
Like
Yeah,
honestly, man, like right now, where I am in my life with having young kids and trying to do the family thing and work and
It's hard
do
to
all
get
that.
out.
Man, I haven't been able to go out and watch Bart play. I haven't been able to go out and watch you play. And man, these guys doing this stuff online, like to me, has been like freaking awesome.
It's good
like,
to hear.
Like you don't understand like what that does to somebody like Melissa and I who haven't been able to come to watch you live in probably almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, hey, Bart's playing live. Well, we'll sit there and watch it,
Well,
and have a few drinks, and it's like that's bringing back old times, which I know that it's not like
You telling me that makes a difference in the way that I will think about it next time.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is like we I remember heck, there was a time when her and I first got together. Though I mean, we would heck, man,
We had the local yokels.
I've probably seen you play 100 times.
Yeah.
I saw you play at the Elks. I saw you play. I think one time at Coops.
The Moose.
Or so, I mean, and it was just. We would go and watch that. All of us would together.
Yeah.
And
the Elks was so great, man.
yeah,
that was a great venue.
and it was just like in 2020, as much as it sucked, there was a lot of time sitting there watching stuff like that where we kind of got to be like, well, heck, man, what's stopping us from watching this? I mean, heck, man, we don't need to get childcare. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to move anything special. We sat there and enjoyed a few drinks and watched our guy just lay it out, man. It was awesome. I mean, so like, I realize where you're coming from, but like the other side of that is, man, you had people have been watching you play music around here for 25 years.
Yeah.
And like it's gone through different generations.
Probably 30.
I bet it. Yeah, hell yeah, it has.
Closer to that.
And like what I'm saying is like there was a time in my life that like if you were playing, the likelihood of us being there was relatively high.
Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
and then now, like I'm just in a phase where I got to arrange childcare. I got to do all
Everyone's
this.
so busy. Everyone is so busy.
Well, and then but like all of a sudden 2020 comes. Well,
Now you're back.
He's playing
Yeah.
online. I mean, we watched everyone. I mean, it was for us. It was nostalgic and kind of awesome to be able to tap into that.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I've become nostalgia.
Now,
How wonderful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I really made it.
Yeah, for not really a,
But
I mean, don't give. I mean, look, like Melissa, Chad Reynolds, not probably your target audience, but
okay. Now let me
but
throw
we
another.
we really enjoyed it.
This is a real question.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a real question.
Yeah.
So the thing that I feel bad, with him, is that's what you do for a living. Okay, you play music for a living.
We can call it a living.
Well, especially now. Well, so the problem is how do you turn how does a musician right now, whether or not it's Bart or whoever, how does that musician right now turn that Facebook Live? How do they monetize that?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay, so thank you for leading me right into it.
Oh, okay.
Shameless plug. As you guys have done, I'm gonna start my own show every Tuesday night. Tuesday
That'd
night,
be great.
Facebook Live.
Tremendous.
You can find it on my page after that also.
Yeah.
I'm working on something else too. I want to have it seen on a couple different ways. I'm working on something I think will work, but I can't mention it yet. But I'll tell you guys off camera.
Yeah.
But
I think this is the best news I've heard in a while.
every Tuesday night,
this gets me excited.
I'm going to sing every Tuesday night.
Okay.
Originals or
they'll be both. Now I'm trying to have a special guest with me every Tuesday night also that only does originals.
yeah.
Not necessarily that you have to do all just that.
Well, I know how you feel about that. You taught me a lot about that.
I wish that I could. I wish the songbird visited me more often. I really do.
Your songs are good.
But he doesn't. It doesn't visit me very often. Thank you for that. I enjoy doing them. But so yeah, every Tuesday, tune in. I'm gonna look for some sponsors. Try to make it worthwhile in this day where it's over, it's gone. And what I think about is all I have to feed is me and pay my due, pay my child support and rent and what's due. But what I think about is these bands that are out there on the road, they have 40 people under them. They have an organization. That's all gone.
Yeah, and
For
there's
all
like
those
40 families.
40 families that feed their kids through working for this band. What's happened to all those people too?
I know my buddy Nick Donnelly. He like your publishing deals, they're still getting paid.
Oh yeah, mailbox money continues to roll.
But it's the giggers. It's the guys down on Broadway.
Yes.
It's the guys,
Those are the folks hurt.
Those guys, or not just Broadway. The guys on Beale Street, wherever.
Any Broadway in America.
Any Broadway in America, is hurt right now.
There are, So, the thing is, I want to be able to see what's new and what's coming. What's the next direction? I'm just not smart enough.
Well,
for that.
I'm kind of interested. That's kind of where I want to go.
Well, I'll tell you what.
We can make money off knowing the next direction.
Well, have we?
Put Gillum Insurance down if you're looking for sponsors.
That's okay. Okay, thank you, man. That's nice of you. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I don't know if you can afford it, but we'll talk about it.
I never could afford to play with you. That was always the problem, Bart.
Exclusivity. I'd rather be exclusive than good.
Yeah. Now, listen, though,
I'll
guys.
retract it.
I mean, I love it. I love it. One sponsor already done. We keyed. Now, let me ask you: have we discovered a new way of making music? Much like we have like we've talked about Pudge in our
listening
worlds.
to music or making music?
Both. I mean, in my world, sales, your world, man, we have completely changed the way we're doing things right now.
100%.
I mean, we're doing a lot of shit online. We're doing a lot of things that are totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, why not music? Like, look,
it has to.
It's kind of painful.
It has to.
But like, maybe once things
It's
open,
so painful.
Maybe once things open up again, though, this might be another leg to the stool.
Yes.
Because I think people like myself, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm like just the average consumer, maybe less than that. I don't know whether I fit into what dynamic, but I'll tell you what, man, I have enjoyed the live shows online.
Yeah, you
Yes.
tune in to Todd Snyder.
Oh,
every
yeah,
Sunday.
I haven't missed it.
Every Sunday, man.
I haven't missed it.
Too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
very good.
never the Purple Building, buddy.
Very good, man.
Never missed it. And I mean,
Church of something I can't remember. Church of having a good damn time.
yeah,
That's what it is.
dude, it's unbelievable.
It's so good. I tune into that.
And man, when
See,
he did those Prime albums one by one as a tribute,
Yeah.
I mean, whew. And now he's doing his.
So
Unbelievable.
you saying leg to the stool brings me right back to that.
Yeah.
There used to be 3 parts of an artist and how they made money. One is the live performance, the second is merchandise, and the third is your publishing.
Sure.
The royalties that would come to your mailbox for jukebox plays, using it in a song, or using your song in an advertisement.
Yeah.
Well, Napster or the internet, I'd say, made that one of those go away,
Sure.
right? If we can add another leg to that stool,
Yeah.
it's much needed.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Is it coming back? Like, because now, just imagine.
So
just
let
imagine
me
if
finish,
you're.
Let me finish, because as you say that, is it coming back? It will come back, yes. But what I hope and pray is that people realize how much they took us for granted and pay us a little more. Not me.
With you.
I'm saying kids that come up.
With you.
I don't care. I don't want to be rich from this. I just want to be able to. I have heat in the winter.
Sure.
An air conditioner run in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
If it just did that for me, and I had to figure out another way to eat, That's fine.
Yeah,
That would be great.
I mean, look, man, you're always going to make money playing live music if you have an opportunity to do it. Like right now, unfortunately, in 2020, you didn't have that opportunity.
Yes, this is the first time anywhere that opportunity is completely removed, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no talking about when it's going to come back. There's no talking about what we can do and why you're allowed to go to Walmart but not in a bar.
Yeah.
Why Kmart doesn't have to close at 10 p.m. but you do.
Right.
It seems like if you ask those questions that you are a bad guy for even asking about it.
Well, I mean, I think we've resolved ourselves to knowing we're not going to win that issue. But I guess what I'm saying is I ask you this. Going forward, I mean, there will be an end to this at some point. Things will eventually open back up.
I hope that's true.
Well, I mean, I don't know when it's going to be, and you don't either. None of us know. But what I'm saying is, have we, and during this, are we not establishing a new way of doing music and a new way to capitalize on that that goes outside of Napster, Spotify, stuff like that? Because and
it hasn't been done yet.
Not yet, but like and right now, like you're doing it to sustain.
Now, isn't this?
But can you imagine if you're also playing live music, but then you're still every Tuesday doing that?
Here's what you're going to be able to count on: me every Tuesday, live music. Even if I have to record it, you're going to find me every Tuesday performing somehow.
Well, and what I want to hear is this: as a consumer of your product, when you get back out and you're chasing it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, probably a Thursday night somewhere, commit to the guy on 45 West Lawn with 2 kids and a wife that can't get child care, that you'll still be playing that Tuesday night deal.
Yes.
And I'll pay for it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I don't think you have to.
But
I don't think.
Isn't YouTube doing this already, though? I mean, like, I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate, but, I mean, like, can't you, I mean, okay.
Not if you do a cover.
No. Wrong.
Can't.
Yeah, you can. It's all over YouTube. Facebook's where the covers are.
If Steve Lloyd is watching this, he is so freaking.
You haven't ashed in that ashtray yet.
It's the biggest.
Steve Lloyd got us a new ashtray.
And I'm not even trying to like burn along with the night, but I swear, all over
Bart,
the table.
You know how meticulous and shit I am.
Yeah.
I know it's driving you crazy.
And I mean, it drives. Look,
you're into the equipment.
Look.
Oh well, hell, you're doing a bad job too. I mean, we can't hit the basket.
Call the kettle black.
We're less than 60%. What's going on?
Oh, there it is. There it is. I bumped my thing here. Something. Chad was about to blow my eardrum out.
Oh, sorry about that, dude.
Oh, man. That's my fault.
Well, I mean,
I bumped it.
But look, we're all over I mean, I'm shooting a low percentage, and tonight, honestly, I was trying to be courteous. Like
you're going to edit all this out, right?
No, hell no.
Man, I tell you, I've got some memorable times with you, man.
We've had some memorable times.
I was just thinking about who's Gus's favorite.
Who's Gus's favorite? We were taking bets on what kind of things we were going to tear up around your house that night.
Mindy had went somewhere, and the whole band stayed at my house all night.
Oh my God!
And Bart rode down the stairs on a pizza box. And, I mean, I think we had just played the Swamps. And we had cut back through the.
What a classic that place!
Hey, I tell you what,
that's one of the places I played when I was 16, and it's a hell of a lot different now. It's a nice joint now.
Man, I tell you what, that's one of my funnest places I ever played. They hit the dance floor. You could be tuning up, and somebody'd come out of the corner just dancing.
You're just tuning up. You're just tuning the guitar, and somebody's like, "Hey, bring it."
Yeah,
that patio there for music is good, and their pizza's great.
Yeah, we would shove the pool table up against the back wall. Remember that?
Yep.
There was that one. Man, I mean, we've had a ton of them, but I'll never forget. This is when Bart Wiseman introduced himself to me. Well, he didn't introduce himself to me. I introduced myself to him. But this is whenever Bart came in my life. I'll never forget this. Okay. Do you remember this night? It was at the corner pub.
He's looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah. he says at the corner pub, and I think it might have been the night before Thanksgiving you played there.
Oh my, that's a legendary night.
Yeah, it is.
And I went in. I'd been back in Jackson about a year. I'd came back from Athens, and I'd played with Mikey Thompson, and I'd played with Tommy Parsons, and then I wasn't very good. I was horrible, and I just kind of put my guitars up, and I really wasn't playing any. So then I'll go into the pub, and I meet you in there that night. And at the end of the night, we ended up going, and somebody knew that I played, and wanted me and you to come over and play at Abel's at Donnie Henry's garage.
Oh man, the old Henry's over
the old
there.
Henry's thing.
Yeah,
and I'll never forget this. So you said, "Hey, Pudge, you got some guitars?" And I said, "Yeah." So he said, "Let's go get them." It was just down the street. So we'd load up my truck. We go down there.
Racetrack.
The racetrack. So we go down there. I said, "Bart, what do you want to play?" And he said, "Seriously, I want the shittiest guitar that you have." You said, and I was like, "Yeah, I just heard you play. You're that good. You can take anything and make it sound good." So I gave him the shittiest guitar I had, and he went over there and just entertained people's balls off over there. I mean, just beat that thing up. I mean, you was in one of them zones. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, entertained their balls off.
Yeah. I mean, he had the place.
The balls were entertained.
So I'm not playing with him at this point. I'm not really playing. All right. So I'm seeing this.
Had you seen him play before?
No, I had heard about him.
But that was the first time you'd ever seen him play.
Yeah, I'd heard about it.
Interesting.
So we go over there, and so I get over there, and I think I played, my 3 songs I knew, probably House of the Rising Sun, and, that Charlie Daniels song and something, whatever. I probably knew 3 songs. So then somebody else grabs. I mean, you can't follow the killer. It's like follow Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
So then another guy gets up there. I'm not going to mention his name. He gets up there.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
And you tuned his guitar while he was playing it, and he didn't even know. You were reaching around him and tuning his guitar, and he was just singing his ass off, and you were tuning his guitar for him.
I don't remember doing that.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
That's hilarious.
And you were tuning his guitar, and he didn't even know, and I thought that was slicker than hell. Yeah, and then I started just kind of following Bart and the Chasers, and I don't know how it happened, but we ended up playing together. I think I asked you to play something with me, and then we just ended up playing. I didn't sit in much with the Chasers, but then I think I formed a band, and then you jumped in.
We played just a couple years ago, you were telling me. Like, I'd forgotten all about that gig at your buddy's house that had that pool house.
In Coolville?
Yeah.
No,
really
that wasn't
nice.
a couple of years ago. That was 2012.
Wow, was it really that long ago?
Yeah, you and I started playing together in around 2007, and we quit around 2013. Whenever Gibson was born, Gibson and Barton.
Now you guys played.
They're the same age.
Yeah,
you guys would do just little shows here and there, like through that 2008 and 9, 10 range there. Like, you were playing with the Chasers all the time, but then occasionally you guys would just play.
Well, there was the local yokels. We had we had those guys, and then Bart was, anybody that I was playing with.
Well, I mean,
Bart would sit in.
I think I saw you guys, and you guys will both probably shit on this. Maybe it wasn't a great show, but I really enjoyed it. One night, I think we were at the Elks
on the back patio,
and it was like you, Charlie Mannering, Bart, and then I think Morgan Washam got involved with it. Like,
did Davey Leach play like
trash
cans?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different people, and all of a sudden, like it went from something that just kind of started off as well, we're just jamming. And
I think they're still doing that now. Don't they still have
B.J. Wildman and those guys, Billy Wildman and them?
Yeah, but like you guys just it kind of organically went from we're having this show, but then all you guys just kind of started jamming together and playing, and it was like, dude,
then
that was so fun.
Right they kept that going. The Elks started doing that. They had patio.
Well,
I did a couple of
we
those
organized
gigs.
that. We got the officers up there.
Yeah.
We started that part. What do we call it?
Party on patio.
Yeah.
And then you did a show.
We started. You kicked it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had you. That was back whenever I was following Bart and the Chasers. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I think he did a solo show, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that's what kicked it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I've had bands there too.
Yeah.
That back patio.
You did. You used to do New Year's at the Gallipolis Elks all the
That
time.
was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice building.
Man, there's been a lot of I don't know how you feel about it. It's just me and you talking, but I mean, I just feel like
Just
the whole.
two of us.
Well,
Just the three of us.
three of us, but I mean, I just kind of feel like the whole mood's changed now, like in bars, maybe I'm just being. I don't know, man.
Tell me what you think. How has it changed?
I remember those days, and now maybe I've changed. I don't know. I'm sure that's what it is. But man, I remember people getting loose, and I remember late nights. I mean, we were talking about that before the show, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember when Dad and him would bring us home from Waverly Moose at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Yes.
I mean, man.
Yeah, we didn't. There are a lot of clubs that we played that didn't. We didn't
stop playing until 2:30.
Yeah, at least 2:30.
Yeah, and
that's
then
when the band quit.
Then you had 2 hours. You had an hour just to relax, get you something to drink real quick. Maybe heat up the leftover.
Nobody was
food.
In a hurry. Nobody was in a hurry.
Usually there was one asshole that was. Usually the driver.
You remember when we played downstairs from here, and Mike Thompson sat and watched us pack all that stuff in that night. You remember that? He sat in his car and watched us pack everything in.
And then got up and came in.
He said, "Hey, man, hey."
He was notorious.
He was on the phone with a girl. Mike's on the phone with a girl.
He was juggling. He was juggling.
He was juggling.
He's like, "Hey, man, hey."
Nothing against Mike or what he's doing now.
He's like, "Hey, man, the talent is going to roll in. You guys carry that in there, get it rolling, and then the talent's going to show up." Yeah.
And I tell you, another guy that has had a major part of the local music scene is Jeremy Rupert.
Yeah. He's been with a lot of bands around here, man. We still play together. We have a Snake Bite band.
Yeah.
How many damn bands do you have, dude? Seriously.
Before COVID, I think I was in 4 different bands just right then, just trying to work something out.
Yeah.
And right before then, I'd been looking for another project actually, because I think I had 3. It went down to 3, and I thought, well, I need to find something to get into.
I'm not busy.
Playing the drums or playing bass. I do that a lot in bands. I played bass with Ben Davis Jr. a few times, and I'm playing bass right now with a bluegrass band from out of Vinton, and they're real good, man. It's real fun.
What are they called?
I can't remember the name of it.
He's in a band that he can't even remember the name of.
He just knows where the garage
I mean,
is.
this guy's been in so many bands, he can't remember the name.
It's got the word grass in the name. I know that.
Grassroots.
Most of them do. Yeah. Most of them do. Yeah, but they're real fun too. Real good group of guys.
Yeah.
I try to keep busy in it.
But I just feel like people used to go out and they would just kind
You're
of.
definitely right. It was a little looser.
It was a little looser, and I don't know if that's coming back.
There were 3 things that made that go away. One is the cops would sit outside.
Oh man, that was
Yeah,
Okay.
that killed it.
You got to be.
When was that? What year was that?
I don't know. It was early on. It seems like to me.
I was thinking 02, 03.
Yeah, they started really catching everybody.
I think it really got hard around 2008, 2009, 2010. That's when it really ramped up in Jackson.
One of the other 2 things were pills. Pills started taking over, and people would rather do this pill than go out and drink a bottle of whiskey at
about
night.
60% of your right out of high school 21-year-olds or whatever that used to be a 12-pack of Busch Light, about 60% of them went to 12-pack of Xanaxes.
Yes, or a couple Percocets or whatever, meth or whatever.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the recreation now for a lot. The other thing out of the 3 was just people don't have as much money. There was the recession, and the recession really killed a lot. And everybody took a pay cut then from what like I said, my dad was making in the 70s.
Yeah. I have my own thoughts on, now that I'm on this side of it. I have my own thoughts.
I bet that's changed your view about a lot of things about it.
It has.
I bet.
I would like to see the 2 worlds work together better. As far as, and I don't mean like individuals. I just mean that I wish that there was a mediator between, because
we don't have a union. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying you need a union, but I'm saying that there needs to be a I
mean, we do have a union, but it's impossible to be a part of.
Yeah. I really admire the way So High does it, and they seem to really do well with that. I'm not saying that every band that's the case. Like,
Sure.
and you know, something that I've experienced that you know, I wish we would have been talking more at this time, but you know, because I would have loved to talk to you about some of these things. But like, you know, then you get into like the McGuffey Lane style stuff.
That's the medium between making it big,
Yeah,
and being here. Well, they're at that middle point.
they're about 2 above that probably.
Well, I'm not saying
Yeah,
I'm not.
I know what you're talking
you know what I mean. But that they're the medium.
Yeah.
They're regional
famous,
as opposed to
national.
right. There's a place for that. They're a great band. I love them. I would aspire to not even go that far with it, really.
You could.
But I don't push myself towards it because there are trappings in that also.
There is.
To be famous, who wants that? It's that would be terrible to me.
But I think you're famous anyway. Like I mean, you know,
Here, in one community, yes.
well, if you still live here, what's the difference?
Oh man, because
mean-
I tell you what, if you're Elvis famous or famous like that, you can't go to the store. You cannot go to
Yeah.
the movie theater.
Right.
You can't take your kids to an amusement park.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do any of that. That's
Yeah.
why those people lose touch and go crazy and
Yeah.
end up being killed. You
Yeah.
know, it's just they're not producing anymore.
Yeah.
They're just now. I don't know. That's strange. It's interesting to hear your take on it. That you're from the other side of it now. You're in the sales part of it. And I'm anxious to see how it goes with you, just to ask you questions about that. We
Fire away.
want to find what's new. We want to find what the next direction is in this thing we call
I had
music
a
business.
lot of success, and whenever I say success, you or the musician won, I won, the public won. Take dueling pianos for example.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And honestly, I think you're that good. I really do.
Well, thanks.
And I think that, you know, if you would turn into or not you, but I think, you know, now I'm not saying that this is everybody, and this is where the waters get muddy, because so-and-so hears that you're getting this price, okay, and he's got him a guitar and he's been playing for 2 years, so he thinks he gets that price, okay. Now, so now you've turned it into a juggling act. Am I paying for talent or am I paying for crowd, okay?
Yep.
Because there's no comparison.
I totally
I've
understand
been the guy that came off of his guitar in 2 years and tried to play with you. There's no comparison. So, you know, there's a juggling act there, okay, as the proprietor.
Promoter.
Yeah,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
So, you know, what are you going to pay for? Then again, I don't think it's fair. Okay, now if that new guy out there is bringing a crowd, I brought a crowd. Okay, if that new guy's bringing a crowd, maybe he is worth more money. I mean, business wise. But so where do you draw the line?
It depends on what your mindset is.
It depends on the vibe of the place. Okay, it depends on what you're trying to do. But it has to be business.
Okay.
No, well, it doesn't have to be, I guess, but
I'm going to say Nathan Kitts is not making money from having great live acts there. He's making it even. He's breaking even on that, but he loves music
yep.
enough to say, I'll just break even on this. That's high, and I have a high esteem for that in my book.
But here's the thing, okay?
But I understand that's not pure business.
But and I admire that. But at the same time, whenever I said that was a success, that I won, they won, and the client won. Listen, nobody got rich.
Right.
Everybody broke even. Nobody lost money.
Right.
You know, like, listen, nobody got rich in that deal. You know,
Sure.
I mean, the tickets were $10.
Sure.
Okay. So, I mean, it's, you know, what I think is that, you know, I mean, hey, that's great.
There is a balance.
There is
You're
a balance.
There is a balance. And we can find that.
And now I also think whenever, you know, if you've got a place that is capable of this amount, you know, and that it just makes sense for a show, then do that. But I mean, if you've got the room to really, you know, I mean, a big place, that's where you can really,
Yes.
you know, kind of hit that.
Now, saying all that, the older that I get, I do find that I'm making a little more than I used to. A little more because
Because you're gigging just as much, or?
I'm not gigging just as much, but I can be selective on what I take.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, even if I broke, that's not my main motivator in life in the first place.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I don't need the name recognition. I've already got that. I don't need exposure bucks because that's not going to put money in the gas tank, you know.
Sure.
But I do find that I am making a little more that I'm older now. But I think the show must be a little better now too, because I have gotten better and learned more about my craft.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I wish, is that the guys coming up would just learn about the craft. It's not just getting up there and singing. There's just so much more involved with that. It's almost hypnosis.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Like, let's talk a little bit about the showmanship. I mean, you would be a liar if you said your show hasn't changed since you started doing it.
Calm down.
It's definitely changed.
Well, but I bet you feel I bet
For the better, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I would imagine that you're probably more confident in your shows now.
Absolutely.
Like you're probably putting more thought into the shows now
I
than
wouldn't
what
say
you
more
did.
thought, more experience.
Okay.
Because there comes a certain point where you don't have to work at it so hard, the music part of it anymore.
Right.
I still push myself. I want to play jazz guitar. It's way out of my wheelhouse. I don't have enough musical theory under my belt to be able to do that easy. But I am doing it slowly, and I think we all aspire to do that at the top of the form. And those guys get paid less than I do, which is a travesty. I think there's one place you can go in Columbus and hear live jazz, like maybe one or two.
Yeah.
You can go.
You know,
and
when the lounge started, not to get off track, but when the lounge started back in like 1963, 62, AJ wouldn't let you couldn't play country or you couldn't play anything in there. It was he had jazz, like huge monster brass section.
Right.
I mean, just like 16 people be up there.
Right.
But that was back whenever you had to dress up to go in there. You're talking in the 60s,
enough
man.
to go someplace,
So,
man.
like Mike Morgan was telling me about whenever he was like 16, he was gigging in there with the truants.
Yeah.
And he said that that AJ said, hey, you know, no more than one, maybe two country songs per set. You know, we want to keep this mainly jazz. And I was just sitting there thinking, I mean, not that I'm a musician by any means, but I can entertain a crowd. I wouldn't have a clue what to do if somebody said, oh, they play jazz. Literally not just here. I have no clue.
Yeah.
There are certain standards. It's a book. You know, it's a big book with like 1,200 songs. There's standards, and that's what that is. That's all that is.
So, like down Bart, do you find like if somebody would give you a statement like that, like, hey man, jazz only,
He can do it.
are you like, hey, challenge accepted? Like that sounds kind of challenging. That sounds exciting.
I've done those gigs
Okay. Yeah.
before COVID. Me, Jordan Lombardo.
Another just amazing
God,
talent.
this guy has touched everybody.
He's amazing. He's brilliant as well.
Have you played with Jeff James?
Yes.
I haven't heard him play.
Yes, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good too. But it was me, Jordan. I play guitar, which I am not a jazz guitar player, but I know enough to read the chord symbols and fudge my way through. And I can do some solo. I can do the melody.
Right.
We played the coffee shop right over here on the corner.
Spot.
Spot on Main. Great little place.
Yeah.
She took care of us so well, was so nice to us, and we put a little jazz combo in there. So I'd say, yeah, I could do that.
Now, do you find
I would have to hire the musicians that can do that. But yes, I could go to a place.
But do you find that to kind of get your blood going a little bit?
Yeah,
Like a little bit exciting, like
I was
a little different
I
than
was so looking forward to that gig, doing that gig with those guys. It was 4th of July, and it was right before we played uptown here with my band.
Yeah.
I did that, left, went straight to the bandstand,
so totally
and played
different.
uptown.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to take away from, like, you know, when you guys play in, like, the Wellston Legion or something like that, but, like, is it different to be like, okay, man, this is all jazz? I mean, it's got to be a different.
so
I mean,
much more
like
fun.
that is so much different than.
The VFW.
I mean, the range that you guys have, or that you have. I mean, like
we don't
you
get
go
to
from
show
playing
that.
jazz.
We do not
to
get
go
to show
to,
that.
Okay,
we never
okay.
get to show that range. Because if I tried to play Miles Davis in a room around here, they're going to ask me to stop.
Yeah.
They're going to ask me to never play that song again. If you play that on a jukebox, someone's going to go and say, "Hey, will you turn that off, please?"
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
At the bars.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what you miss out in like Southern Ohio. You miss out on the venue options.
Yes.
You're just kind of stuck with bars.
Yes. Yes. Very much so.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean that's it's just, man, I don't know. You and I look at music a lot differently, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either one of us.
That's the beauty of it. It's subjective.
You're very into like the musical stuff, like reading music, playing jazz. Like,
I wish I could read better. You know,
Yeah.
I take active links to read better.
and I wish that I did, but at the same time, man, I haven't taken that deep a dive in it. You know, I mean,
And you don't have to is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm
There are
very
plenty of good
content.
songs that you can do with just 4 chords and the truth.
Sure, I am perfect.
4 chords of the
Seriously,
truth.
Yeah,
Plenty of
That's
good
beautiful.
And I mean, I've just kind of learned. I never did work on my pick, and now I can sit there and play with anybody. You know,
Sure.
but I can chord along with anybody. You taught me probably as much about the guitar neck as anybody. You and Mike Thompson.
Yeah.
You guys taught me how to get down at least to the 7th fret. Right. You know, but. You know, I mean, I just never did take that deep dive into it, and I don't see myself doing it because I think that it's just something that, like, people ask me all the time, like, man, you think I could learn to play guitar? And I mean, I honestly, I don't know that you could learn how to play. Like, that's to do what you do. Like, I think that you're either born with it or you're not, because I can't get my fingers to do what yours do. A lot of people can't.
You can, but you have to be willing to sacrifice the time and the energy it takes to make that happen.
The rest of your,
But I also
The
think
only-
you have to be touched
You
by
have to
God
have
a
you have
bit.
to have a certain amount of talent.
I do. Like I think that there is like, okay, yes,
You can.
You have to develop it. Okay,
You do. You
but
have-
but it's like developing. Like, hey man, you know, like I say about myself. Like, look, man, I could step down and cut off a guy to the inside, you know, as an offensive lineman, or I could pull and trap and pull. Like, I had a natural propensity to be able to do that better than a lot of people, but then I had to really work on that skill set. Yeah. Okay, and I think it's no different.
Great analogy.
Yeah, I
Great
think it's
analogy.
no different with playing a guitar or a musical instrument. Like, now listen, it doesn't come easy, even to guys that have that propensity. Like, you've got to bust your ass. Okay?
I suck and have busted my ass.
Well, yeah, you haven't. You don't suck, dude. I mean,
No, I suck.
Cut
I'm
the
horrible.
modesty.
No,
Well,
I'm so, but in the guitar world, I mean, I'm horrible.
I wouldn't say that's true. No, I wouldn't say it's true at all.
it doesn't come across.
Well,
I mean, if
dude, like
you are.
to be one of those pickers, I mean, that's got to.
When I see those guys too, though, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm
But-
never going to be able to do that.
Well, but what I'm saying is, it comes down to, okay, making the most of the talents that the God blessed you
that's the
with.
secret. It's,
Okay.
it's honing
Yeah.
the knife that you're given.
Right.
It may be factory sharp,
Yes.
but you can put an edge on that.
Yes, exactly.
But the
It
thing-
doesn't mean that you had to work less, but I can tell you this, like, you could sit Chad Reynolds down with a guitar, okay, and make me work on it 24/7, and I couldn't do what either one of you guys do.
Well, you said the magic words, make me work on it. My dad told me this. He played, and always
I enjoyed
he
playing.
would put the guitar under the bed and say, when I was a little kid, don't touch it. Don't touch my guitar. That's the first thing that I did.
You wanted
They had a
Wanted to go
smell.
get
Didn't
that
they?
guitar.
Remember the
You-
smell?
The way it smelled opening
you
it up.
wanted to
Oh, my
touch it.
God.
Yeah.
I can still smell that
That's the
Yamaha to this
Yeah.
day. My dad's
Yeah,
old
that's the
Yamaha. I
same
can
thing.
still.
My dad's
I
was
can
the
open
Yamaha
that case.
also.
Well, what the hell does it smell like?
I can't tell. I can't.
It's just, it smells like that.
Smells like that guitar. Smells like that guitar. That case.
So he told me,
Yeah.
if you want to learn to do this, I can show you these 3 chords, but you have to want it so much that you will learn it regardless. Because whether I show you this He said, I don't know enough to show you more than this. But if to show you this, you have to want it. You can learn to do it right now, but you have to drop everything else. As soon as I found this, football, basketball, sports, all went away.
Yeah.
I played all those sports. I tried all that. I played soccer even. We had soccer for a few years when I was in school, in grade school. All went away. I started taking my guitar to school.
Your focus was 100%.
I started taking it to school on the bus with me.
Yeah.
It was all because that drum key.
That's I guess
that drum key.
That's what
Sticks in my back pocket in homeroom.
See, I guess that's what I'm saying though, guys. Is like, look, I mean, I can, like I grew up in sports and that kind of stuff, and I realized the talent that is largely useless in life. But for
this
a
is
while,
much like that.
But for a while, no, because you guys are my age now, or both of you are younger than me, but you're still playing the guitar. Yeah. Like I'm not scoop blocking.
Because there's a difference.
An inside 3 technique.
What are you doing with your boy?
What do I do?
What are you doing with your boy?
He's too young. I've given him guitars already. He's got Stratocaster and amp. He doesn't want anything to do with that stuff.
He'll come over and beat the shit out of mine if I'm playing.
Yeah, if I'm playing, but otherwise doesn't want to even.
And I'm not. I
haven't tried to make.
I haven't. I've thought a lot about this though. Like
he'll come looking.
Yeah, he's going to come looking one of these days.
Just give it to him.
Well, and I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, are you saying
it's a double-edged sword?
I know.
I want him to learn math and Mandarin Chinese. That's what I want my kid to learn
before he can touch a guitar.
Hey,
not to guitar.
Hey, man, I mean, I know that life is not as well as you, but I know that life.
Yes,
and
you do.
And I mean,
there's a lot of heartache and sin and misery involved with it.
Yeah, there is.
There really
but
is.
Guys,
it's a double-edged sword.
I'm telling you, having the ability to play that instrument is something that can never be taken away from a man.
But we both know that those boys may have that tick.
Yeah, they
may.
Right.
And I think
I worry about it.
That's
I do
great.
too.
I worry about it.
I do too.
I mean, like with my son, there's no chance he'll have that tick.
Well,
maybe he does. I mean, I don't know.
Now,
if he does, it'll be from no genetics from me or his mother. I mean, unless perhaps he was like a mailman's guy or something like that. We do not possess musical talent.
Well, my dad.
Other than I am a beautiful singer. Other than that,
like Mike Thompson, like a bird.
Yeah. Oh, I can sing like a bird.
It is kind of interesting it's interesting to talk to you because our boys are literally a month apart.
Yeah.
And now Gibson likes it. He doesn't like the music part. He's like me. You had
no interest.
Also, like he will sing.
Yeah,
mine will sing. And sing on key.
Yeah. I haven't heard it.
And I'll be like, oh man.
But you had no interest in the musical side of it as far as learning.
Well, I mean, it's
taking lessons to learn musical notes and shit like that. Yeah.
It was always in the back of his mind, though. I know what you're saying.
Well, like what I'm saying is like you weren't like, okay, man, teach me music theory, or like teach me how to read this sheet of music.
Right.
And I was unique in the fact that I did play sports, and then I didn't play music, and then I went to playing music.
Yeah.
And I've come up with a couple things. You're gonna hate this, but a couple things. I have a hard time not dealing with the like whenever we were in a band together. Bart, and it was Bart, Jeremy Rupert, Mike Thompson,
Mike Thompson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Mike. Who else?
Again.
Who else was it? I think that might have been it. It was harder to deal with guys that weren't used to like the athletic style.
Yeah.
I don't know what that really means, but like I would look at everything like a ball game, like we were going in to win tonight, and I mean, I think that was bad. That was a bad way to look at it.
Well, but I mean, what I'm saying is like, and when Bart gets back on here, I'll ask him, but like, it seems like to me that he was a guy that was focused on the musical theory side of it as well. Like Bart, you learned to read music.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No. That
was not big
Never.
for you. Okay.
Only recently has that become a bigger part of my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only recently have I wanted to sit down and really learn that craft.
Now, have you started to do that?
Stanley?
Like, did you never knew how to read music then?
It's a new Novak.
You played by ear.
What's amazing is I had a good band director,
Close
Paul
to
Hogue.
Stanley.
Oh, Paul Hogue. Yeah, man. He's from
lives in
Jackson. I
this
grew up, went to his church. I've known Paul Hogue my entire
He was
life.
such a great music instructor.
yes.
So I went to Wellston for a while, and they wouldn't let me in the band because I could not read music.
Oh, okay.
So when I went to Vinton County, he says, "Here's a tape. Learn the songs."
Also, Paul realized, hey, man, there's more than one way to skin a cat here.
Yes, absolutely.
So you and Paul were, I take it, he had a nice influence on you.
A very great influence.
Man, his son's playing with Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, his son's an amazing.
Let me tell you something. Those Hogues.
Yeah.
I grew up with those guys. You want to talk about musical talent?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to watch him play as a youngster. Maybe not appreciate it. Like it was the Presbyterian church, pretty formal, not a lot of, but like, man, he would get up there and play his trombone. He directed the choir there for years.
Yep.
And now, like, they're kind of starting to do some, like, a little more musical stuff. I think all churches have kind of evolved to that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But man, I mean, the Hogues, the Hogue family. You talk about musical talent, dude. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you guys possess a gene that you don't even realize. I mean, because like there was a time in my life, more so my dad than me. Like, he wanted to learn how to play piano. Like, that was one of those things. And you know my father. Mm-hmm. He's a goal setter. Mm-hmm. Like, and if he's going to learn something, then by God, he's going to learn. Mm-hmm. And he toiled with the piano for 5 years, and he can't bang out Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
You know what? There was one difference right there.
What?
If the right person would have got to him,
Yeah.
he would have learned it.
That's the truth.
You think so?
My mom learned to play piano by reading music at age like 50-something.
Same with my mom learned it when she was a little girl. She can play the piano beautifully.
Well, my mom learned at an older age.
Really?
Yeah. She was... I don't want.
Well, maybe I'm gonna start setting goals, guys.
That's what I'm saying. Is if you
have the right people at the right time,
even people that don't have the God-given talent, you can work hard enough to be passable.
Well, sure, but I can't be as good as what you are. I mean, all I'm saying. Look, I'm not discounting that, guys. What I'm saying is, the two of you, there was something in your brains that, like, you could hear a song and watch somebody play an instrument, and you could somehow sort that out in your head. Now, I am not arguing that I could not learn how to play the guitar. Like, if I was passionate,
that's it.
And I decided that, by God, but it would be different than you guys.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. It might come easier.
You think it's in there? I mean,
it very well, because you
never know until you try it.
Yeah, you don't. Everybody's story is different. Nobody's wrong.
But did anybody teach you how to chord one, or did you just kind of start?
No, Mel Bay's
did
guitar.
Your dad show you chords though?
No.
He didn't ever showed you G, C, and D.
No,
just as simple as.
Now, can Gary play it pretty well?
He knows how to hit an E and then work it down the neck.
Because honestly, man, the whole Gillum family, I mean, let's be honest, dude, you guys are very musically talented.
Well, but here's the thing, though.
Okay.
You just have to, at the time that I learned how to play, that was what I was doing.
Right.
And
you were 100% focused.
Yeah, and it's like right now, like, I have come to terms with the fact that I will never be like a great guitar, like a lead picker.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now I take it for it's totally different. Music.
You're not even trying to.
I'm not even trying to now.
Yeah.
And right now that works for me. The same way, whenever you learn, you'll take as deep a dive into it as you want to.
Right.
Like, there's guys I know guys that's been playing 20 years and really they
ain't very good.
They're about the same as they was 20 years ago. You know those guys.
Yes. And they don't want to go any further.
They're good at the campfire.
What they do.
So would you guys say then, if I'm interpreting this correctly, would you say that it's not really about a natural gift or a natural talent? It's about a lack of development on that. Like you would say that guy that just bangs on the guitar at a campfire. He can entertain people, but I mean, you guys that know how to
happy,
play,
I'm happy.
like, yeah, but you look at it and like, yeah. Not like, are you saying that guy?
I could go to his show and do that. He would go to my show and do that. You're going to do that no matter who's up there playing.
Okay, so like you're.
I wish I was up there playing.
Yeah. Like
You
what?
know better than that son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, but what I'm saying
In your
is,
mind, yes.
Like, do you guys think, well, if that guy would spend hours,
No, we never
could
think
do
that.
it.
No.
Like there are some guys that like, they're, like that would, because to me that'd be like saying, man, I really want to be a good football player. I want to be like Barry Sanders. I'm a good running back, but like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
well, I
like
do. And here's
I could play.
Here's what you got to understand about musicians. Okay, and this goes back to my point about sports.
Yeah.
You're looking at it as, can I be as good as Bart? Am I going to be better than Bart? Can Bart be as good as me? Or whatever. Okay, why? Because you and I. Okay, this goes back to what I was saying just a little bit ago about the sports. I had this mentality with the musician guys, okay? And it was just like that. Everything, regardless, was, and you just described it. I know you may not have meant it, but you just described competition. Am I going to be as good as Bart? Am I going to do this? And it has nothing to do. It's taken me. It's not a competition. It's taken me 15 years of playing music to understand that it has nothing to do about what that guy's doing or what I'm is. If I'm happy and if I want, you can play guitar and never go play in public.
Right.
You can play guitar and never play in your living room.
So that kind of gets back to where you're patting a guy on the back. You see a guy trying, you're like, hey man,
no matter what.
Yeah.
If it's awful,
go with it.
Keep trying, man. Keep it up.
Yeah.
So like to you then, I mean,
everybody's story's different.
Yeah.
All right. So to you, let me ask you this, Bart. Like you hear a guy, he's just banging on a guitar, and like honestly, you're kind of like, God, that's sick. But he looks like he loves it. Like, are you going to go over and just slap him on the back and say, buddy, keep going, man?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell him he's doing a great job.
I love that.
I love the song.
Absolutely
what he's going to do.
Absolutely. I'm going to say, keep that up, please.
I tell you what he's going to do. He's going to
day.
say, go start your band.
Yeah.
Call it the local yokels.
Yeah.
I'll play bass for it.
Yeah. Well, I'll play drums for you.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bart,
Well,
honestly,
that's what you did to me.
I got a public
I went out
address.
and bought the PA. I did the whole bit. I was in the
Bart,
band.
I got to tell you, man, I think that's awesome. Like, so the truth of the matter is,
because it's been done for me, and I know how it feels.
You encourage musicians
every time,
bad, good, whatever.
If
Like
possible.
you're willing to look past
all of it.
Their loft.
Maybe
that
even
I
if
always
they
call
were-
my golf game has a loft problem, which loft is a lack of fucking talent. Yeah, but you look past that.
Yeah,
and you
even
say,
if there may be like a murderer, maybe I'd even.
but
look
you
past
see
something like that.
man, I see the smile on that guy's face when he's beating on that guitar and missing chords and doing everything. You know what, man? Hey, go.
One of these days, maybe he's going to be real good. Maybe.
And
If he
you're
puts his
you're
heart into
interested in that, like you're passionate enough about it.
If he puts his heart into that, maybe one day he'll be real good.
So you're passionate enough about seeing that kid doing that.
Show me that
That
kid
you'll
right
go
now.
that you'll go up, put your arm around him, be like, "Hey, dude, yeah,
Absolutely.
if I can help you, I will."
Yeah, absolutely. Show me that kid right now, and I'll go tell them. I'll go tell that kid.
See,
there aren't very many.
That's
right
no
now.
different than being a goddamn football coach.
Oh no, it's the same thing.
I
I
Except,
mean, you can go cross lines, dude. I
I
mean,
well,
also-
but see, like I said though, if you got in now, there's a big difference between being an entertainer and being a musician.
well, hell yes, sir.
Okay, those are two different hats.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you gotta kind of realize that just because you play doesn't mean you're going to be an entertainer.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
so
Getting up in front of people.
that's a whole nother deal. That's a whole nother hat.
nother
Campfires and bars, big jump.
I know a lot.
Not a
of
big
good
jump. It's
players.
just a different hat.
Yeah,
I know a lot of good players even right now. They're good players, but they wouldn't dream of getting up in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Like they wouldn't even
dream of it.
I've told everybody.
The idea scares the bejesus out of them. They wouldn't dream of it.
like now.
And they're
Is
great
that
players.
Now is that something that is a real challenge to people?
I peaked,
a lot
or
of times?
I exploited it, to be honest with you. Like, I was good at that.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like,
But I was not a good musician.
I guarantee you, you had no problem in getting up in front of people,
No.
and you weren't worried about
That's
it.
That's one of the reasons you
if
learn to do that is to get up in front of people.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, and I mean, like, hey, look, man, you get up there. If you fuck something up, you'll smooth it over, and you'll own the crowd, and it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Bart, you've got that. Like, you're a tremendous entertainer.
I screw it
you
up
work
every
with
night.
the crowd,
I
but you
make
work
a
with the
mistake
crowd.
yeah, I do that. I make a mistake there every night. Just don't pay attention to it because those people don't know if you're making a mistake.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They have no
Well, that's what I
idea.
mean.
Who cares?
You're playing to a bunch of dudes like me. I don't know how to play guitar. I mean, what do I know?
No desire to learn.
Hey, you'll
No.
you'll
I mean-
appreciate this, and this kind of goes back to that. So we did that. The boys from Wellston there at Rocket Pizza, they put on that Craig Campbell concert.
Yeah.
So he comes in, and he's established songwriter. He's got a lot of hits. He thought that was going to be a like a songwriter. Like, so there was three of those guys. There was a guy that wrote some songs for John Party. There was that Styles Horry, which seems to be kind of coming up. I'm hearing his name a lot.
Yeah.
And then Craig Campbell. So they thought that they were coming into like this singer-songwriter. I love the idea, singer-songwriter night. Well, so these guys, they all come in and they thought that it was going to be like quiet. Okay, this goes back to what we were talking about with lack of venue options.
This place around here,
You're not going to do that.
you're not going to do that, man.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of times when I wish that I could just sit down and do a half hour of getting my songs across,
Yeah,
and then being quiet and listening to them, and then they can play the jukebox the rest of the night.
yeah.
But you just have to get up and play right through it.
But you know what,
It's-
man? But
it's tough.
Well, but it's kind of like
this
this is
place
where we
is
differ.
different.
This is where we differ, though.
You-
Okay.
No, I understand what you're going to
Because-
say because I get that side of it too.
Because I'm like, okay, no, we just have to train them.
Yes.
And I did it with comedy.
Yes.
And that, like I said, I'm seeing both sides of that coin now.
Yes.
And so I watch people
Comedy,
pay.
they have to be quiet.
They have to be quiet. They
There's-
have to sit there.
it's
and
hard
they,
to get them to do.
And then they started paying a ticket price to do it. And you know what? Now it was a little bit, but guess what? The comics won.
Yes.
I won, and the
Yes.
crowd. I mean, that's you're telling me that to go to a Bart Wiseman show is not worth $10.
I think it is worth $10.
Whenever
I do.
you're going to pay. What's something? How much are you going to have in what's a night out? I mean, hell, I'm at the bar every night. How much?
$100
For me, at least $100.
Yeah.
150.
100. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Me
saying.
and my wife get to go out. Shit, I'll
That's
give you
two.
200.
Would you bat an eye at $10
Oh my God, no.
to hear Bart Wiseman?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'll tell you what, having the ticket price at just a ticket price whatsoever keeps a lot of the bullshit out of there.
Well, you know what? Good call.
Keeps a lot of it out.
Well, and
Well, I have to promote. Okay, so I mean, and like I said, man, I've seen both sides of this now. Okay, and so now there's nothing more aggravating than somebody that comes to me, and they've just started. They don't have any social media. They don't have any following whatsoever. They don't share any event whatsoever, and they want the same price as a guy like you
Yeah.
that's at least going to put out a schedule. I tell you, who's really good, Bird.
Yeah.
Bird's really good
He
about
works
that.
more than almost anyone.
He does. He does.
And he's got a
madman.
regular job.
Yeah.
let me ask you this.
But,
I mean,
but
because
hang on a minute. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that I forget where I was going with that. But if you train them,
Sure.
then
And
they
I,
will.
and I do want to do that, but I want it to be something that is not a spur of the moment thing.
Well, and you don't want it to be
wanna
have to be
promote it for a
affiliated with
month.
with like another business. Like you're wanting to create that for yourself. With like maybe a tune in on Tuesday
nights.
night. Yeah, you're basically wanting to do the same thing.
I want to do that, but I want to perform live also.
Yeah.
I don't want to just do that. I would rather perform live than set and play to a camera.
Let me ask you this. How many cover tunes do you know?
Thousands.
That's what I mean. Like we're sitting there. We were just talking about like dueling pianos, right? What's the premise of that show?
Covers.
Like they come up.
Yeah.
They
Take requests,
right.
and usually people, they don't ask for a request, and if they've come with paper, to put in the jar.
That's what I always wanted you and I to do one night. Was do like a dueling guitars.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
That's
is
entire
that
possibility.
I would
You
like
know,
to
something like
promote. I'm announcing it right here. I'll be the promoter.
He won't play with me no more.
Chubby Bartenders. Instead of dueling pianos, I mean, you guys are better than them guys. I mean, I know you're better than them. You're better than them. Hey,
I didn't see them, but I
do.
It was
I
a good
imagine
show.
they're pretty good.
It was a good
Dude,
show.
you do requests, $10 a ticket. Go. We're going to do local music covers. Hey, make your request. We'll full Park's Edge again, and everybody will win, dude.
Bird takes around a list
Yeah, he does.
of all the
Well,
covers,
you and
he
Bird and
passes that
Pudge.
shit-
How
passes
about
that
the
out.
three of you? How about the three of you get up there? Hell, what can they throw at you?
That would
Like,
be a
can
great
you
night.
sing Beyonce?
He does.
He does.
He does.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
He's the top 40 end, and I'm the old 70s and back end.
Yeah.
well, I mean, there's plenty of all of it.
Yeah.
What? Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Why are we not
That would be
doing
fun.
this?
Let's promote it. Well, because
Would you do it?
people aren't
Would you
allowed
do it,
to-
or is it below your talent?
We're gonna
to
have,
to,
no,
to
it's
just sit there and do
definitely
covers.
Not beneath me whatsoever. You have to go to great lengths to find the bottom of this sewer hole, bud. Great lengths.
well, okay. When we blow out this, Bob, we're doing it.
Okay.
We'll promote that. I mean, man, that'd be fun.
But like right now,
Because I'd rather listen to you sing than
You
two
can't-
dudes there with grand pianos.
you're not allowed to put capacity folks into.
Oh, well,
You know, hey,
all
hey.
that.
Speaking of that, all right,
You're not allowed.
I got a vent here a minute.
Okay. Oh, he's going to vent.
So they come in the other day and they made this big thing about schools being the safest place for the kids. Man, I'm gonna catch y'all for this.
That's always
What a-
been the
Hey,
case.
bring it on.
hasn't
Bring it on. I'm in.
and
Yeah.
it's
Hasn't
like,
that
so
always
it's
been
like-
the case
it's-
since they were one-room schoolhouses?
Well, but I'm saying. So they came in. So he goes, hey, we know, and it's the studies are showing and all this stuff that so we're going to put 25 kids in a 20 by 40 building. Hey, I'm with you. That seems to be safe. Okay. Then in the next sentence said how we've got to flatten the curve and you got to stay out of the bars and we're going to extend the curfew. Man, we are abiding. We deal with the health department on a daily basis because of beforehand.
Right.
Beforehand.
Right.
This is not something that we're
Trying
just
to
now-
make sure things are right,
Yeah,
so you don't make someone sick.
You're telling
and they have
me,
a good experience.
You're telling me that most of your average or your retail shops, okay, I don't care what you're selling, if it's not food, you're telling me that they have to be as sanitary as we do.
Exactly.
And so
You're preaching to the choir.
So we
here,
were
brother.
already one of the most sanitary places out there. I'm saying
You have to be.
the industry.
Regulatory
Yeah, you have to be.
wise.
And now you've pinpointed it back to. Man, this is just. I can't get over it. I thought Nathan did a good thing by closing there for the last 2 weeks. I thought that was.
Well, I'll
just
tell you.
bleeding.
That's
Hey,
a lot of money going out the window right there, boy.
yeah, you're killing
Being
killing
closed.
yourself. I'm gonna kill mine.
You can't make money if the place isn't open.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Well,
right?
this- yeah.
Just do what's right.
This
Yeah.
goes back.
Think
to
about it.
what we were talking about, like even ticket sales related. Nobody's getting rich. Okay, and I think the older I get, the more I realize that people that I used to think were rich, they were rich, they were happy, and they were fine.
Yeah.
But they may not necessarily have been as cash heavy as what I might have assumed.
You know what? I think that you associate
Yeah.
cash heaviness with richness, and
Yeah.
maybe that might not be what's rich.
It might not be, and
Yeah.
so it's like, so like for somebody to take 2 weeks off and not get paid, okay, or anybody, look at everything that's going on.
Let me speak on that.
You've
Let me
had,
speak on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
before
Go
we
ahead.
Before COVID, I was making enough to get by. Me being able to pay my bills with my instrument and my voice, I'm a rich man.
Yeah,
All
I'm
about
a
it.
rich
You've got a
man.
great
I mean,
story.
who else can do that?
I'm a rich
You've got a
man.
great story.
Like, you don't have to have.
So during this,
a W-2.
I started no.
That's the thing.
I started complaining about this early on online, and one of my friends, who I thought was my friend, but maybe not. He
Was
said,
it me?
No. He said,
Was it Pudge?
very possibly. No, it
Sorry.
wasn't, no. He said to me publicly, online on my page, said, "Why don't you quit bitching and just get a real job?"
Oh.
So I thought of 10 terrible things to write, and I didn't write any of them.
Good for you.
But what I thought in my head was, I'm sorry that you had to give up on your dream, but I'm not giving up on this. I'm not giving up on it.
Yeah.
I'll starve to death
Yeah. I love
before
it.
I give up on this.
I love it.
I'll starve to death. And I haven't missed any meals, as you can
And
plainly see.
that,
You're
ladies
doing
and
well.
gentlemen,
Yeah.
is the
Doing
difference
okay.
between me and Bart Wiseman.
I'll not stop. I'll not stop this.
I love it, man.
It's why I was put here. It's the reason I was put on this
It is.
planet,
It
in
is.
this universe,
It is.
at this time, is to entertain people with what I do. And I love it so much more that I could even talk to you gentlemen about. I'm going to continue to do it if I starve to death doing it.
I can honestly say I have some of my best musical memories made with Bart Wiseman.
We had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun.
We really did have a lot.
We had a lot of
And
fun.
you're right, it was a lot looser then. We
Well,
could get
dude,
away
I'll
with
tell you
a
what.
lot more.
Hey, Bart, you have fun every time you have a show, dude.
I do.
Yeah.
I
Don't you?
enjoy it.
In a way, like I'm sure there's nights that
There
you're
are
not
nights,
excited.
but you'll never know. Hopefully,
no, no.
Hopefully.
I tell you the biggest trade wreck. Oh, you know who I'm going to talk about.
I don't.
Here we go.
There's
Yeah.
been so many.
No,
of those.
you do. Yeah, you do.
There've been so many
Think
of
about
those.
it a minute. People tackling each other on stage.
Well, I'm still not allowed back in there. I don't think.
Where was that?
I think I'm not going to say it because it's a popular place to go.
I forget. Oh no!
They said you will never
no!
play there again,
No, I remember that night.
and I'm not allowed back in again.
Yeah, I had to cover your tab that night. I remember that night.
Really?
Yeah, I covered your tab. We owed them money.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God.
No. I'm talking about our buddy, Mr. Copeland.
Yeah,
He sent me a picture the other day. He's kicking ass. He's doing
Yeah.
good.
yeah. He
Did he reach
sent
out
me a
to you?
message not too long
Yeah,
ago. Yeah,
he's doing good.
Yeah.
He's doing
I'm
good.
proud
I was
of
glad to see that.
He's doing well.
I
Good
will
for him.
never forget the night before my wedding whenever he rode that Kawasaki 500 from Nashville to my house.
It was almost on fire. by the time we got here. It was almost on fire.
Yeah, and he went upstairs to get a guitar out of the room, and while he was up there, he shaving creamed all my mirrors and.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's Lewis.
That's yeah. So and we
Shout out to Lewis
So
Copeland.
the next day, remember that night? That was night before my wedding, and me, you, and Lewis and Dad, and somebody else sat out there for a while. Vic,
That was my first time meeting Vic.
Vic, yeah,
And I haven't spoke to him much since then.
me neither.
But still, I think if I
Sure.
do see him,
Yeah,
it'd
he's
be
good.
just like we never skipped
Sure.
a beat.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's like I'd seen him forever.
And but man, we stayed up and played music till almost daylight, and I had to get married that day. That was a great musical memory.
I did that the night before last. I stayed up and
Did
sang
you?
till 4:30 in the morning to usher in the New Year's. Yeah, I figure they say what you're doing at midnight is what you'll be doing,
The rest of the year.
and that's what I was doing.
That's what you was doing.
I hope I'll be doing that again.
Well, yeah. My dad still says that night with you and Lewis was the best musical live thing he'd ever seen in his life.
It was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We
yeah.
sure did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. man.
Lewis is fun anyway. We did a lot of gigs with Lewis at the Moose and in Waverly around there, like bowling alley.
he was slumming up here with us for a little while.
Yeah, I don't
Remember
know
that
why.
winter? He was up here with us all the time.
Yes.
I saw him. I went down to see him about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I texted him the other day whenever they had that big bombing. You went down there.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
It was an awful experience.
Well, how old were you?
I was 20.
You was 20. Yeah.
Not able to get in a bar,
yeah.
much less perform in one.
Yeah. Did you go down there to live?
Yeah. Yeah. I ended up, the landlady that I had kicked me out, kept my deposit. I was broke, like
Where are we? What's that?
Nashville.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I ate out of dumpsters. I kicked people out of nice places to sleep.
Yeah.
I had a Chevette.
I remember you said you drove
I had a Chevette.
$400,
It was a beauty.
$400 in traveler's checks that I'd cashed in all my bonds that I'd got from my grandpa forever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what a
And what
mess.
was this, like 3 weeks?
It wasn't very long. It was a little longer than that.
Was it?
A little longer than that, but I found out quickly that, man,
Everybody down there.
Everybody down there plays the guitar, and they're 10 times better than you.
Oh.
All of them. If they're serving you fries in McDonald's, they've been living down there and trying to make it for 10 years, and they're better than you are. But they're still serving fries in McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or the Baskin Robbins is the one I always use. The guy I met in Baskin Robbins, he was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to make a 2-man." It's like, obviously this is not going to work.
You want butter pecan or chocolate chip, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So after he got off work, it was one of the only people I met the whole time. And after he got off work, we sat in the parking lot, and he played me some of his songs, and he was just so much better than me. So I was like, well, it's time to come back home.
Yeah.
It's time to go home where I have a support system.
Yeah.
When things are bad,
You
I
regret
do
it?
have people that will help me. Do I regret going? No.
Do you regret coming back?
No.
No.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
I don't think you do.
Carl Perkins.
You never talk about it.
Carl Perkins told this story in a Guitar Player magazine interview one time that I read. He said, all my friends made it super famous. Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, Mickey Gilley, all those guys were around Memphis during those days, and he wrote Blue Suede Shoes, of course. He said, all my friends live behind a great big wall, and you can't go see them anymore. He said, I stayed right here with my family, and I came home every night. That is more important. Like I say, it's better to be rich than famous. What good is being famous if you don't have money to back that up?
Right.
Because it's just no fun if you don't have the money. You know, like all those new artists, they always tell me, people always say, you should go do The Voice, or you should do America's Got Talent, or whatever. And I was like, those people get to be famous, but they don't get any of the money that comes with that.
Right.
People think that they make money doing that. They don't make money doing that. They don't give them a dime. They make them.
Yeah.
But like Kelly Clarkson was the first one. Wasn't she the first one? Tell me how many albums she sells a year. I bet it's under 20,000. I bet it's under 20,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've noticed in general. Like the numbers just aren't there like they used to be. Like,
Do you think it's that tough a number?
It takes years to sell a gold record now.
Well, back whenever he started, and even before I ever even thought about it, man, think about it. You had, I think there's actually a number out there, but I want to say there was like 150 to 200 major radio stations across the United States that were playing the top 50 to top 100. Now you have about 15 radio stations across the United States playing the top 10.
You're right. Yeah.
So
for every radio station. We just buy a subscription to their service.
Oh, yeah. It's
So
all
like-
now.
so- So like that's what they're saying. Like the majority of like the songwriters, like the whole industry has shrank considerably.
Well, like it used to be that you could go out into the woods and different things and influence certain DJs to start playing your stuff.
Or pay them.
And get it
Or
heard.
pay
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
whatever the game.
Which still happens.
But it
Yeah.
worked. Yeah.
they say it's illegal, but it still
But there's
happens
so
every
many
day.
fewer syndicates now. I mean, they used to spin records in a booth.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
That doesn't happen. 10 people are doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to
To
a million
1,000,
people.
Yeah. I mean,
Man, we used to go over with Bart. He introduced me to my first studio time.
oh,
Okay, and now I'm not talking going over to somebody's house that's got an 8-track recorder.
Yeah.
You're going to rip out some tracks. I'm talking. We went over to what is it?
Masseyville.
Masseyville. What's that called?
The recording workshop.
The recording workshop.
The recording
yeah.
workshop.
And I've spent a lot of time over there, not near as much as you. You taught me about this over there one time. I asked you to come over and do something with me, and you said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Whatever." So I forget what it was. And you said, "Nope, not going."
You were recording a cover.
I was recording a cover, and you said, "I'll never go over and record a cover." You said,
there's no sense in that. It's already been done.
That's exactly what you told me
It's
15
already been
years
done.
ago.
That the cover's already been done. You didn't write it.
Yeah.
It's already been recorded
Yeah,
the
you
best
said-
it can be. They asked me, you always get the requests and play this or play that.
Sure.
Those types of songs that people always request are the ones you really don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because you just played them 10,000 times, and you'll never do them as good as the original recording.
Yeah.
It'll never be that good, because
Yeah.
those are classic songs, and I love to hear those songs.
and you're not afraid to play them.
No, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
do it and act like I'm enjoying it. But it's better when that request comes with a 20 twin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I almost want to puke if I have to play Folsom Prison
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Sweet Home Alabama.
or Wagon Wheel.
Like
Or
so,
wagon
so,
wheel.
like
Oh my God.
so
I
Bart,
refuse
you
that
prefer
one.
if like somebody comes up and says, "Hey man, play me Moggy Road."
Oh, that's different. See,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
So that makes me think how those guys,
how they like the Eagles would be.
how they feel having to do Hotel California one more time.
Yeah, but it's like Moggy.
I don't mind to play it at all.
You know what I mean?
But
And
how
that's
many-
what-
how
many-
if you made
but
how
how
many millions off of
many-
Hotel California, I'd play the shit out of it.
But like, how many times have you played Moggy Road? Like, you gotta be
As many times
you
as he's
gotta
played
be kind of
Folsom
sick
Prison.
of it.
Thousands of times. I'm not.
You
sick
gotta
of
be
it.
sick of
I'm
it.
not sick of it.
But that's yours.
I'm not sick of it.
And it's my
'Cause
favorite
that's what
song. It's my favorite
Who
song
wrote
that
that?
you sing. I'm
That's Mike
sorry.
Pratt.
That's a Mike Pratt
Who was
song.
the other guy? There was two of those guys. Mike Pratt and Jeff. Was his name Jeff?
No, there's Mike Pratt and the other guy that taught me Pratt's songs because Pratt.
Yeah.
Pratt wouldn't teach me his songs because he didn't want me doing his songs. Which
Oh, he didn't want you.
no. Now later on in life we got to meet and we got to be friends and he didn't mind it so much. He
So
still
it's
didn't
kinda like
like
how
it,
I did you and I
but he
stole
knew
your
that's-
songs?
He knew
Kinda.
He didn't like it, but he knew
I've
it was
played
going to
Bart's
happen.
wedding songs so many times.
Yeah, he's telling a couple of songs. So that's not my songs, just cover songs. So I don't mind it nearly.
Your
as
left
bad.
set me freeze of Wiseman.
That is my song.
Yeah,
That
I've
is
played
my
that
song.
at so many weddings.
That's
That's
good.
awesome.
I've done that at a lot of weddings too.
There was
Well,
you
it's
played the
very
Bart song?
pertinent. Very.
So Mike wouldn't teach me songs, so it's fine. So I learned them from Tommy Manring, who I've had on my show, and he's my musical
Way.
godfather. We call him Tom Way. Or I call him Tom Way. He calls me Elvis. I get it. So, yeah, I never get tired of doing that song, man. I never get tired of that
Like
one, 'cause
you play that, yeah.
That's the one people know me for.
Oh my.
It's about a local setting.
Yeah.
It has weed in it. It has Bigfoot in it.
Yeah.
Little kids, they
Has
love
swamps.
that song.
Yeah. Like
And I
there's
hate that
really
little kids
nothing
love
you
it.
can miss on that.
You know what?
man.
Hey, I just had an epiphany.
Oh.
You know, if you're playing out, if you're gigging, just understand something.
Yeah.
You'll never be known for a cover song, will you?
That's kind of interesting.
Except
You're
I
right.
am.
No, you're not.
But this
you're known
song-
for Moggy. He just told you.
But it's not like,
Well, yeah.
even though I didn't write it, it has become my signature song.
Sure.
But, no one knew it before I did it. Not as,
Well,
not
that's
as-
what I
not
meant.
that no one knew it. Not as many
Well,
people
I
knew
thought
it.
you wrote it, dude.
I wish.
I'm
wish.
kind of that way with Taco Bell.
Yes.
And
But
I mean,
same melody to
yeah,
another
to another song. That's I'm not putting it on that level.
Right.
But I mean, I've got some originals, but I mean, I'm known for that one, and that's about as pudged up as you're gonna get. You know.
Yeah.
Pudged up.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting pudged up today with a what a verb. You can't make your own name into
Pour
a verb.
yourself
There's only
a-
one of those. That's sting.
Pour yourself another scotch there, bully.
No, I've had quite enough.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
done
say
with
that
this
very often.
Yeah.
Bully.
I refer to anybody that drinks scotch as a bully.
It's pretty
There
good.
was I don't know if people truly understand how hard a guy like you goes at it. And I lived that with you for a minute. Man, I can remember one time we played Tuesday at the VFW in Wellston.
One of yours, and then I'll give you one of mine.
We played Tuesday at the I'll never forget this. We played Tuesday at the VFW in Wellston. We played Wednesday. There was an open mic Wednesday at Heroes, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We played Thursday.
Where's Heroes?
Heroes was where Harvey's in Wellston.
Oh, okay, that's right. For a minute, it changed names there. With,
Which is gone now.
Which is gone.
Gone.
Yeah, gone.
The
Gone.
building's gone.
Gone. I saw
Same
it
with the
the other day.
Eagles. in
Like I played the
Jackson.
Eagles here a lot.
Gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Gone.
I played there with Dwight a couple
Did you?
times, man. Yeah.
So we played Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know where we played on Thursday. Friday we played somewhere. Saturday we played at a like a festival in the afternoon, and then we went and played I think Wagner's that Saturday night in Chillicothe.
Yep.
Came back and we had to play a birthday party at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and we didn't even go to sleep.
Yep.
We just pulled into town.
Yep.
And then and that was the same weekend that we got our pictures.
Yeah.
Dude, so we was from Tuesday
We were
through
ruined.
Sunday, and I mean Sunday afternoon, like I about died.
Yeah, we were ruined. But that's a good week to me.
Yeah,
To me, that's a good week. Like
I mean, that feels
I've
like
done all I can do.
Yeah,
I can remember,
weeks like that.
and whenever we played that gig on Sunday morning, it was at a church. And I can remember just sitting there like, oh my Lord, the week I've had.
Were you tired?
I was afraid I was going to go to hell.
You're sitting there like, I feel a little bit afraid of Jesus.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
like,
yeah,
I've
strictly
been
convicted.
digging since Tuesday. Like, I smell like whiskey and cigarettes.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
And so does my
Don't
guitar.
strike me down.
Your guitar really does smell like whiskey.
Well, it used to. It used to.
It don't even
No,
work.
it doesn't smell
Man,
like
I
that
remember
anymore.
whenever we used to pack up stuff, your stuff smelled like whiskey.
It always
and
smells. It
cigarettes.
always did, but then no smoking in bars. That's another reason a lot of people
Yeah.
don't go to bars anymore because you can't smoke in bars.
All right, Bart, you got to tell me. Okay, I've seen you do this more than 3 times on stage.
The whiskey.
Yeah, that Jack Daniels bottle gig. Is there something behind that, or are you actually taking a bottle to the face? Like, are you taking a fifth to the face, or have you diluted it with water? What is the trick? And if you don't want to disclose it, I get it, but
There's no trick, and I never tell my secrets.
okay.
I can't tell
So
you the secrets.
this is not like magician shit. You're just taking a bottle of
I don't
Jack
do-
to
I
the
don't-
face.
You notice I don't do that anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm
I haven't
older.
seen you in a while.
I'm a lot older. I'm a lot wiser now.
Okay.
No more downing fifths.
But you used to just chug
There's a time
a
and point.
fifth of Jack.
There's a time and point where I would drink like 2/5 of wild turkey every day in the bar. Wow. Every day.
I've-
And I'm
I've-
talking years.
So
of
you
that.
so you had
You
practice
did that at
and
the,
you could
you
take
did that
down
at the dock that night. That they
so you
unplugged
could
the-
Damn right I did.
so it was truth. Like you could take down a half a bottle of Jack in a chug.
No
it
problem.
wasn't a big deal.
No
Okay.
problem. Finish
okay.
the show. Finish a 4-hour show.
and then
Okay.
put his guitar on his chin and
Balance it.
Yeah.
balance it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was not like any sort of an optical illusion or
Where was it
any
that
I'm
you-
sort
saying
of a
I'm
trick.
not telling you the secret.
That there might have been a secret.
I'm not saying anything about it.
Where was it?
Not going to speak on
I'm
it.
not going to talk about it. Not anymore. No. Thank
Well,
you
hey,
for the
what-
question. I hope I
What guitars you playing now?
Telecasters.
playing that telly?
Well, on a Stratocaster.
You still got your telly,
Yeah, I still got a lot of tellies. I probably got like 20 tellies.
but you still got the telly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the one with the record on the
Yeah.
pick guard, my
The-
favorite record.
That's your telly.
Hillbilly Deluxe.
That's your telly.
Yeah.
I hope
yeah.
you get buried with that thing one of these
I
days.
play it like it's just a tool, man. They're all just what they are. Now, I've really been playing a Stratocaster a lot lately because there are a lot more options available at my fingertips. I would just take the amp and turn it all the way up, roll every dial, and use this to do it with now,
Yeah.
which is so much easier than, running back there. With a telly, you got basically 3 sounds,
Yeah.
and that's all you got. With a Strat,
Strat
there's
got
a lot
5.
more.
5 and then some.
Well, yeah, and then some, then some. There's that in between thing, but I've been playing a Stratocaster a lot.
I've been wanting to dive in. What was that? My phone. I've been wanting to dive in, and I want to get one of those Fender Telly Blackouts. Just play rhythm on it. I've been wanting to start a house band.
They have humbuckers.
Yeah,
so-
I want those humbuckers.
I'm not a humbucker
You're not.
guy.
But I would be.
Yeah.
We're two totally
Yeah.
different styles.
Just get a Les Paul. Now that you can afford the Les Paul, get the Les Paul.
Okay.
It won't stay in tune as bad as
Well-
well, but it's so much more beautiful.
And it is. It's creamier, isn't it? It's
They're
just-
so pretty, man.
They are.
They're just
creamier.
they're amazing.
Man,
They just won't stay in tune.
did I tell you I went to Gibson Acoustics?
No. You made a trip to the factory, Bozeman.
No, but I bought a Gibson acoustic. I bought
very good.
I bought a J15.
Yeah.
I played the 45s. I played the Hummingbird. I played a bunch of them, and just really liked that Gibson J15. Funny story. I went
Play
up,
10.
yeah.
Find the good one there that day.
Well,
if you're gonna
and
do
so
that.
then I played the floor model and loved it, and so I went to buy it, and then they said, "Hey, we got one new in the box." I think this was a 2000. I bought a 2017, and they said we got 2018 in the box, and so
Doesn't
they
sound as good, though.
brought it out, and I pulled it out, and I said, "I put that back. I want that floor model."
I bet you could tell as soon as you laid your left hand on the
As soon as I did it, I could feel it as soon as I did it, and
neck. Yep.
And
that's something guitar players will definitely get.
And
as soon as you touch it,
I knew it, and then I hit it, and it just sounded flat, or I don't know. But
take this back.
Yeah, I said
I'll
take this
one
back
because it sounded better than any that I played in here today.
And you remember how I was a big Taylor guy, and I've noticed that the Gibson seems to be roadworthy. Like the Taylors, man. Like you remember all the fret troubles I had and all that stuff. You still have that thing with your fingers where they acidate your strings?
I grew out of that somehow. That does not happen anymore, which is great.
Oh, Bart would play your guitar.
If I played your guitar, you have to change the strings immediately.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they'd just be ruined. They just
Why
rust up.
is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, they would rust.
I don't know
within 4 hours.
Your body was
it
excreting
was
something.
I used to tell everybody they just gave up.
Like it was like that for the longest time. I would have to buy strings and strings and strings and strings to keep myself in strings.
You'd buy them by bulk. You would
and I still do, but now I just have a bunch of strings, and it doesn't do that. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Why am I not going through these? Because they stay alive a lot longer for some reason. I don't know. I don't think it's anything that I've done because what I take in is not different. No. It just I grew out of it, I guess. Thank God. I don't have to spend all that money on strings.
How often do you guys have to change out strings?
I change them every show.
Yeah.
Do you really? You put new strings in?
I change them every show. The difference is my shows aren't as frequent anymore.
Okay.
I miss playing.
So you do have to change strings every show? Really?
If you want a good sound, it
I mean,
never gets any better.
If I'm doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I might not.
Yeah, I would keep the same set for a weekend.
Yeah.
But after that,
you're
gone.
Yeah. I miss playing. I've been trying to work on my guitar skill.
Good.
I've been trying to write some.
Good. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's what
I've been
I
trying
would
to take
say.
a different angle with it now.
Yes.
I probably will never try to go out and gig again. Now I say that, and if the right band did it, it's you don't say no till you say no.
Yes.
Is it a rush?
It's the closest thing.
It's the greatest drug that there ever.
Do you remember whenever
is.
You remember whenever we? You're gonna hate this, but you're not gonna hate it. But remember whenever we went to the playoffs, and it was the first time we'd ever went. It's about the closest thing I've ever found to that.
Is that right?
Yep.
It's similar feelings in the brain.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you got a crowd into it, there's. That's a good.
I'll
feeling.
bet.
I have a theory that is why musicians take drugs.
Yeah.
Because we're always looking for that feeling of being in front of the crowd and doing that.
Yeah.
That's better than anything else.
So you can either be your own crowd.
So we're always looking for that feeling, but you can't always be doing that.
Yeah.
You can't replicate it.
You can't replicate it.
Yeah.
Now there's also nothing worse than the bad one either. There's no lower than
like I've heard Rogan talk a lot about. Like I've heard Rogan talk a lot about when it bombs.
Him or his brother.
Who knows? Who knows who in the hell that was?
Yeah.
They're twins. They're getting double the money, one tax.
Who's this? Now say it again.
I can't tell that story on myself. I'm sorry. That'll be another time. Maybe. If I come back, maybe.
Yeah.
I have to put some more years under my belt to really. It's my George Jones story. Like,
really? You just didn't show.
I showed.
Yeah.
It was bad.
No.
Let's talk about
are you guys saying though, like, I would assume though that the high of a great one outdoes a few bad ones.
It'll keep you in a band, and it'll keep you coming back.
And like I mean, look,
a
bad one, like
you have no thought of any of the bad.
Nothing.
Well, like in any job that you do, you got the bad one. I mean, there's. I mean, look.
If you're a plumber, you've got the ones that are underneath the house.
I mean, there are some.
That deep.
But there's that one that you drive your wife or your girlfriend by, and you say, "Now I fixed that one."
Now, by God, yeah. Now that one,
and you know that whenever, and I think everybody does this. You know, we went on a run of that. Mm-hmm. And you know, you showed me that deal.
Well, I think the both of you probably have more good ones than bad ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there's some that not too many people in the world's going to feel. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, there's some shows that are just, by God, just good shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a hard thing to find.
Yes. One of my favorite ones that I ever did with my band was David Allen Coe came to Wellston to play.
Yep. Yeah.
And the Horse Creek Riders bought him hired him to come and play. He played for 22 minutes, pissed his pants on stage.
22 minutes.
Listen,
Pissed his pants on stage.
the bass
They had a
player,
complete ass have
the bass player didn't
Oh,
show
really?
up. The bass player and his band didn't show up. Him and a drummer and another guitar player played for 22 minutes. He pissed his pants on stage, got off stage, got in a limousine, and went straight to the casino. Well, people that were there were upset because their night was over and they didn't want their night to be over.
Yeah, they're probably. Yeah.
So I said, boys, start it up. We start to play, and we're down the road from the fairgrounds in a shelter house. They could hear us, and as they're coming out of the concert hall, mad, they hear us, so they come over, and everyone that was there came to see us also right afterwards. They wanted their night to be over.
That
so
was
we
probably
played
the best.
It was the best, man. We played for 3 hours,
Yeah.
and they really loved it. And I think I had quit drinking at the time.
Yeah.
So I wasn't inebriated in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And it was just a really good show from all standpoints.
Well, and it was like, man, you got a lot of people that were kind of needy.
They needed it. They didn't want their night to be over.
And you guys
we
served
fixed it.
them.
We fixed it.
Yeah, oh, it's
it was
great.
so
dude.
fun.
What a
man.
great story.
So fun.
There's that's what that life will give you. It'll give you some really memorable moments.
It'll give you some real low lows,
No,
too.
It'll give you some real low lows.
Well,
It'll
now
give you
wait a
some-
minute though. Would you say that there's more like positive than punches in the face,
Oh,
or what do you remember?
yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't call them
Tim-
punches in the face so much as I would anchors.
okay.
You know,
We don't want to do that again, so we'll remember
Yeah.
that. And here's what to do different next time. I have 1,000 shows to one terrible one. I can't name a lot of terrible.
I can't name
Like
a lot,
when-
but
when-
there's ones that feel better than
Well,
another.
like when
Yes.
you guys like if you're in a spot where like you walk off there and you feel like, man, that was a terrible show. Like what?
Not very often
Like
that happens.
yeah, but like, do you look at it like, man, there's something I did wrong, or was it just the wrong crowd?
It's usually
Or,
always
like,
been my fault.
yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Always been my fault.
Like
It's
you
not
put that on
crowd's
yourself?
fault. It's
You
not
put it
that
on
crowd's
yourself?
fault. They're just a crowd of people. You don't. That's it. That's exactly right.
Oh, so you put it
It's
on yourself?
always
Well-
been my fault.
well-
And that's the reason.
You wouldn't. I mean, they'll throw 40 of them things at you at a night.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I bet
No
everybody's
man-
sending you. Everybody's sending you.
And I mean, you just can't help it. I mean, everybody's human. I mean, you know, you.
They
Well,
think
we-
you're
we-
not human.
Yeah.
They think because I play guitar, I can drink more whiskey than anybody in around, and I can.
And it's true.
But it's better
Yeah.
not to. It's a much better show if I don't.
Yeah, right.
And the older I get, the less that, and like I told you, this COVID thing, I've
Yeah,
fallen
yeah.
out of love with drinking completely.
Yeah.
I figured out that I don't do it at home, and I only do it for social reasons.
Right.
And there has been no social reason for me to do it, so therefore I haven't done it. My tolerance is down.
You look good.
I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It is good.
You look good.
It's very
Yeah,
good. for
hell,
me.
you look good.
I don't have the same. It doesn't enter my equation anymore. Where
Well-
it used to, that would be the first thought: am I going to be able to do this?
So I want to go back to something here. I'd like for you to expound upon this. Do you agree with my take that there could be a new third leg to the stool?
Yeah.
When all this blows out, like you're doing it now. You're going live every Tuesday
I don't
now.
care if it ever pays me a dime.
Okay,
You are going to see me every Tuesday with some kind of product,
I like it.
something.
For how long?
As long as I have breath in me.
So you're going to play every Tuesday.
So you
till
think
die.
it does matter?
Every
You-
Tuesday. Bart, don't sign up for that. Give him 3 months at a time or something.
See, that's what
Your
I
life
figured
may
out,
change.
is that,
What if Barton wants to go to and do something on Tuesday
Well,
night?
what
then
you're
I'll
saying
tape it
is-
Monday.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So
All
what
right.
you're saying is you think that does matter?
I think it definitely matters. And for me to pretend that it doesn't matter is foolishness.
Okay.
Because it does matter now.
Yeah.
I would like to pretend that it doesn't matter,
Oh, we all would.
but it does matter. And that's
But-
why you're doing this.
Well,
Yeah.
no, hell yes, it is.
yeah.
And
matters.
like I said,
This
man,
is relevant now.
It's the new thing.
well, when you've done the shows you have, like I said, it gave me an opportunity to
listen.
consume your shows
And a lot
again,
of people would
which
not have
is,
that opportunity.
Well, like I mean, we used to,
There are people that don't go to bars at all and would never be caught in a bar, and they're not going to see me.
Yeah, well, that's
unless
me.
they
Like
see me that way.
I just don't want people to think that I'm ever in a bar. Oh, no. My whole thing is like, honestly, like it was awesome all of a sudden to be able to watch you play again. Hell, Bird did a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and
Charlie even did that. Charlie
yeah. Like back in the day,
I love Charlie.
we would be at all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Me too.
we
Shout
be at
out
all.
Charlie Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
where is
Charlie
old
Manning.
Charlie?
Probably in a sleeveless.
Probably working right now.
Maybe.
I think he works nights.
Kenworth, is he doing nights?
I don't know if is he Kenworth now? Is he
Yeah.
still Tree Company?
No,
I
he's
just,
Kenworth.
I just wish he could sing and cook. Love you, Charlie. Just
Absolutely.
teasing.
Remember Jeremiah? Jeremiah come down and played with me and Charlie at the bar.
Oh, he's wonderful. Man.
Yeah. I got a picture of the three of us hanging in there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, Jeremiah, man, I remember he was like 12. And now he's married. I think he
He's
has a kid.
21.
Yeah.
Now he's 21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
damn.
definitely married up now.
He's married up.
He's-
Do you still see him?
Oh no, I never see him.
Yeah.
I see his dad more than
Yeah,
I
I
see
see.
him.
I see Jerry.
Jerry, he was there the last time that in your place.
Yeah, when Bird was there.
Played.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
he was
last
in
time
there.
I've seen
Yeah.
him. Jerry's always been a big supporter.
He has.
Man. He'll always throw a like my way. Always
Yeah.
send me a message.
Me too.
Telling me, build
Me
me
too.
up.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. He's always hearting my stuff. You know, love
Yeah.
it. Good picture.
Hearts.
Happy New Year.
Hearts.
Yeah, he's a
Hearts.
good dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So, well, Bart Wiseman,
Yes.
this has been a pleasure, my
Oh,
friend.
my pleasure.
I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
God.
Yep, I appreciate you talking and,
Thank you.
and
My
hanging out.